The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion, we can do it together. When we look to the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting high, I wonder when it all goes to comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. We get champion.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
The scale of dealing with anti-corruption issues. So there is a learning curve that we are going through. What is important is that the government supports the development of the institution so it can accelerate very quickly on that learning curve and provide the resources so that they can move very quickly on the learning curve, and that the government does not intervene or interfere. And that message goes to the opposition as well. Leave the anti-corruption and policing agencies to do their jobs. I know why you come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right side of the argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
Hello, welcome. Happy Tuesday to everyone. Hope everyone is having a wonderful start to the week and looking forward to the weekend. Welcome to our silent supporters. Welcome to those in television land, and welcome to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much, as usual, for tuning in. Really appreciate each and every one. Guys, remember, when you come in, thumbs up the live, share us out if you can. And if you're new to the channel, please show us some support by subscribing. That will be greatly appreciated, and the membership is still active. Special shout out to our channel members and to all our moderators. This evening's topic is taking advantage of the poor and innocent with your host, Mystic Sensation. Yes, we also have Melting Pot, and we will also be joined by Mr. Rattigan. Good. And special guest is Marvin Edgar, who's going to be joining us shortly as well. Panelists are going to be given 6 minutes to make their contribution to whichever topic. And Baron is going to start the discussion without any delay. Let me just say, as umbrella, welcome to everyone in the chat before I hand over to Baron, because the chat is gone quite a bit there now. So an umbrella welcome to each and every one, and blessings. Happy Tuesday to each and every one of you. Without any delay, let me hand over to Baron.
Okay, thank you for that, wifey, for that usual wonderful precursor. You know, you always, set the precedence, right? So, my Jamaican people, once again, welcome, right, to Mystic Sensation Live. Big up all my ardent listeners, subscribers, right, locally and in the diaspora. Tonight we have a whole range of topics and some deep dive investigation, some bombshell we are going to drop tonight. And let me say this before I get into, the deck of things. But before I start, let me have Melting Pot, because we're going to have Rattigan tune in later. We are going to have, of course, Marvin Edgar. Tonight panel is the perfect panel, right, to deal with the subject matter that we have, right? Tonight is going to be extremely exciting. Now, without any further delay, let me just have Melting Pot meet and greet before we begin the business of the day or of the night, so to speak. Melting Pot.
Thank you, Sir Byron. Pleasant greetings to everyone. I hope you're having a blessed evening and looking forward to Mystic Sensation Live. Yeah. Tonight, as you know, very topical, and we'll be having a wide, knowledge of personnel and the panel tonight to dissect as we go along. So I just want to say big up to everyone tuning in tonight. Enough love and respect. Enough respect to the host, Sir Byron, our technical director, Lady Anne Marie, and to our soon, arrival of our other panel, Sir Rattigan and Mr. Marvin Edgar. Yes, so tonight, stay tuned, have your popcorn, whatever you need to keep yourself, comfortable and relaxed, and just enjoy the show. And we're back to the host, Sir Byron.
And definitely, I tell you, Melting Pot tonight, and they are going to need more than popcorn. Now, my Jamaican family. Now, let me say this. This is the reason why that as it relates to Andrew Holness being the Prime Minister of Jamaica and currently under investigation, where it should not be that his wife is the Speaker of the House. So let me start by saying that. Because what seems to be happening now is that they are serving themselves as obstructionists. Yes, obstructionists. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you, a short clip of what transpired today. And of course, we are going to address it accordingly. It was a disgrace, but let me say this, Jamaica. What is happening is sending signal that the Jamaica Labour Party administration know very well that there are some things coming down into the pipeline that is going to be dangerous for them. And what we are seeing playing out right now, they are now trying to be an obstructionist as it relates to what is coming down in the pipeline. So we understand that. We understand that, right? Now, the judiciary, as it relates to Rural Reid, based on what we are looking on, I don't see where Rural Reid can beat this case. Let me leave it for later, because later will be greater. Now, without any delay, let us play the clip that we have seen the despicable behavior, right, as it relates to the Speaker of the House. Let us play that clip, wifey, and then we dissect accordingly.
Madam Speaker.
Members, there's a question from the Leader of Opposition, the member from St. Andrew South.
I'm very concerned by the way in which the proceedings are being conducted. We are attempting to ask questions. We are attempting to ask questions arising from the statement. The statement was a wide-ranging statement. It not only touched and concerned the specific minister's portfolio, he also said he was speaking on behalf of the Minister of Local Government, who is overseas, who has direct responsibility for disaster preparedness. On more than one occasion, the member on this side who was sought to ask a question has been prevented from completing the question, and instead a point of order has been taken, which I don't know what the ruling was, or you yourself have intervened to prevent the statement, the question from being asked. Yes. I want to know what the question was that the member for South East St. Mary was seeking to ask. I don't know what his question is.
Member,
How you mean?
if we have no other questions, announcements. Announcements.
Well, take that away, honey. Take that away. Now, as it relates to civil society, right? Oh, Brother Rattigan is here. Let me just allow Brother Rattigan. Okay, Brother Rattigan is not in as yet. Okay. Let me now speak to civil society.
Okay, no.
Right? Does civil society has anything to say as a result of Mark Golan and the opposition walking out? I'm listening up. Anything? Right?
Conference, hold on.
Because we have seen where Andrew Holness has walked out. Before we get into that, let us have Brother Rattigan meet and greet his people as usual, Brother Ratti.
Testing. Can you hear me?
You're very strong, man. I like when you test up for tonight.
No, man. Lord Byron, Lady
Yes,
Anne Marie, Melting Pot, and listening, viewing audience, bless upon yourself. It's a pleasure to be here. It's been a while. I tell you, I come inside and I don't know. I've just have to call Kevin over turn on the things because the first time I've been back on social media was this past Saturday, and Kevin set everything up for me.
All right.
Come down here tonight to set up it for myself and can't figure it out. I have to call him a while ago. So want to see with me. Good to be back.
All right. Bless up, Rattigan. So let us speak now as it relates to any issues that the opposition need clarity. It is the responsibility of the opposition to deal with the people's affair, not politicians' affair, the people's affair. And I want to say this, it is the people's parliament, not politician parliament. It is we, the people who elect them to work on our behalf or to administrate on our behalf. Now, if the opposition see clarity, the Speaker of the House has no authority to shut him down. What we're talking about political representation from both the opposition, political representation from the incumbent. And so then, while a member from the opposition seeking clarity, addressing the people's business, the people put him there, and so seeking clarity so that also his constituency or his constituents can have an awareness of the particular issue who put him there to represent them on their behalf and have a right to be heard. But let me say this, and I'm going to get into some intricacies now, and I'm glad that, Rattigan, who is a lawyer, is here. Now, let me ask a question, and I'm going to put this out there. Is it a situation in terms of parliamentary duties that the incumbent government, right, will set the business of the day, and it is only the incumbent government that write the itinerary of Parliament for certain subjects to be discussed. Because if that is the case, that's a fundamental wrong. No, I would believe that for democracy, that of course the People's National Party, the opposition, would have concerns of issues that affecting their constituency. Oh, Marvin is here. Affecting their constituency, and would like to address it accordingly. And so then, it is to provide what we call, political representation. Political representation we are talking about now. It couldn't be that the incumbent, right, is setting all the narrative and the opposition has to follow the narrative. And if the opposition see clarity on a particular issue, if it doesn't align with what the itinerary for discussion is, then he or she cannot speak about that. And that is a situation that seriously concerns the constituency and, in extension, concern Jamaican citizens. So then what we are talking about, a democratic approach. What we are talking about, leverage between the incumbent and, of course, the opposition. That if the opposition see clarity on a matter, as it relates to prudency, and the Jamaican citizen need clarity also on that particular subject, that should be allowed for clarity. Because remember now, the incumbent government is not the prime minister for JLP party. After the campaign, after the election, you are the prime minister of Jamaica. You are the prime minister of Jamaica. And so saying that you are the prime minister of Jamaica, you are representing the entire citizenry of Jamaica. You're not representing Jamaica Labour Party. So providing, and what make up the government that people need to understand is, of course, members of the opposition, and the incumbent members. 63 members make up the government. 63 members represent us in Parliament. And so then, we should have clarity as it relates to political representation. And so then, let me repeat in terms of what I said. If the opposition seeking clarity on a particular issue, particularly where that issue concerns Jamaica citizens, we need to have clarity. Now, let me just seize and have Brother Marvin welcome to Mystic Sensation. And I would like also Brother Marvin to meet and greet his people, because our people is Brother Marvin people. Brother Marvin, come to the floor.
Yes. Firstly, good night, everybody. Big up to your panel, Ratigan. Big up yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes,
To
sir.
all the
Yes.
other distinguished panelists. I apologize for being in my car, but I think a number of persons who somehow know Marvin Edgar know that I am always on the road because there's work to be done. So I sincerely apologize for the way in which I am actually here on your live. But yes, I do agree with you in terms of some of the things that I caught just now. Our country is, I don't even think we're hanging on by a thread anymore. I think that we are very close to imploding. And I was just speaking with some citizens here just before I came on, and they were very concerned because they don't know what to do. And I was explaining to them, and most of what I was telling them, these people are clueless. They're clueless about the changes with the monetary system globally. They're clueless about even the robots that Andrew Otis have introduced to start working in supermarkets and cleaning hotels and what have you by December. There's so much things that are happening, and the opposition is quiet. And that for me is very telling and very concerning. You would have thought that the opposition would have been there to pretty much keep the people alive and talk against, because you're in opposition. And we're not talking about baseless opposing. We're talking about, meaningful opposing to the stuff that are here, and you're not from nobody. So it's like the country is on autopilot. It's been left to run by itself. And I mean, I am very concerned with my people, and I am here on the ground. If I were supposed to record the amount of persons who reach out to me on a day-to-day basis, asking for just little food to eat, food. Believe me, if I were supposed to capture all those conversations, it would make CNN. Now they have these little groups that are collecting data on the island, and the latest news is that 79,000 Jamaicans are pretty much far below the poverty line, helpless, no health care, no nothing. It's not just 79,000, it's more than that. It's way more than that. Because you have persons who are in jobs, real jobs, government jobs, who are reaching out to me. I am going to share something on this program that I haven't even shared with anybody. I have a friend who works at the office of the Prime Minister. The office of the Prime Minister. And she reached out to me literally every week for an assistance with fare, just bus fare to get to the office of the Prime Minister. I'm not going to reveal who the person is. A lot of people work there, so yeah, let them do their maths. They'll never find out who it is. But it is sad. And I mean, for me, what's even more telling is the fact that we have a government, let me pull over. We have a government that is now rewarding or awarding a government minister like Tufton. You're awarding a man like Tufton who...
Marvin, hold on. Because we have that in the program, and when we reach that, we want you to address it. We don't want
sorry. Sorry. You have to tell me to stop it on because we chat till God come. So much. I apologize.
Yeah, we don't want to go that deep because we have that in the program, and we are going to address that in clear.
Okay, all right. Sorry.
Marvin. All right. So having said that, what we want to address the situation as it relates to the behavior of Juliet Owness in Parliament. If you didn't hear the clip, if you didn't see the clip, Marvin, and you want me to play back that clip as it relates to the reason given, that Mark Golden had to walk out of that Parliament. Did you see that clip that I presented earlier?
Or did you?
No.
Okay.
Because I joined you late.
Let me play it back, and then I'm going to have the opening batsman start the journey for us tonight.
Madam Speaker.
Members, there's a question from the Leader of Opposition, the member from St. Andrew South.
I'm very concerned by the way in which the proceedings are being conducted. We are attempting to ask questions. We are attempting to ask questions arising from the statement. The statement was a wide-ranging statement. It not only touched and concerned the specific minister's portfolio, he also said he was speaking on behalf of the Minister of Local Government, who is overseas, who has direct responsibility for disaster preparedness. On more than one occasion, the member on this side who was sought to ask a question has been prevented from completing the question, and instead a point of order has been taken, which I don't know what the ruling was, or you yourself have intervened to prevent the statement, the question from being asked. Yes. I want to know what the question was that the member for South East St. Mary was seeking to ask. I don't know what his question is.
Member.
Okay, so Mark Golden explained the reason. We are going to play some clips of what went on as it relates to Juliet Owners, right? Impeding.
If we have no other questions, announcements.
All right, play that clip on it.
Announcements.
All right, so there it is as it relates to Mark Golden explaining the situation in terms of. All right. Okay, apologize for that. We have the clip now coming up.
I'm not sure why. At per time, our parliament begins the session descending into disorder. I hope it will not continue to be the state of affairs for the Parliament of Jamaica. If you have no respect for yourselves, Member Daly, you had stepped in late. I'm asking you not to turn your mic on. You will be able to take a look at the ruling, which was read out before you came into the sitting. That's why your mic is going off. So members, in this order, your hands were raised. The member from St. Mary Southeast was first. The member from St. Catherine Eastern after. Then the member from Kingston Eastern. After that, the member from St. Andrew Southeast was fourth. And I was asking, that's why she came down to confirm if you were gesticulating for the member beside you or yourself. I never saw. Members, it is not funny. I know we like to be hilarious. However, this is important to ensure that we don't spend our sessions at Parliament going over mic proceedings. It is very disorderly. And every effort was made to conceptualize a mechanism that is in keeping with the standing order, but that works for you. I can send for him. It will be the same. Speaker is the speaker. It doesn't matter which of the two of us. Minister, equally, I'm asking you, Once you've turned on your mic to commence responding to questions, that you do not turn it off until the session is complete, as a reminder. Let's see how that system works today. There's one member who said his hand was up. Member from Clarendon, you said your hand was up? Because I didn't see you. Yeah. I didn't see him either. So let's go. Members, let's go. Question from St. Mary's Southeast, please. Question.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I have the honor of rising as a member from Southeast St. Mary.
Let me stop that right now. You will have an opportunity, every member of this House, to do your constituency debate and to grandstand.
Thank you.
At statement by Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Minister.
Member from St. Mary. Member from St. Mary Southeast.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Member from St. Mary Southeast.
Yes.
For those persons who are not au fait with the standing orders and the operations of Parliament, I will advise you. Statement by Minister is followed by a 5-minute response. It is the only response that is made in the House to a statement by Minister. After which, only questions are taken, and your questions need to be exactly that.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Once again,
Madam,
please avail yourself of Standing Order 11A with also emphasis on Standing Order 17, subsection 2.
Thank you, ma'am.
Proceed,
Madam
please.
Speaker, simply saying that I am pleased to stand in the capacity as member from Southeastern St. Mary. And I want to thank the Minister for his statement. Landslides are a feature of these systems that are before us and that we are discussing today. In fact, over the past
Members, I am sure all of us, member, please take your seat. Members, if you would like to proceed, the order in respect of statement by ministers, and I'll reiterate it because I do not think any member is desirous of standing and making a statement when you have been advised by the Speaker that it is not to be done. You are required to stand and ask your question, and it is for the efficient order of this Honorable House, and it is for every single member of the House. So members, whether from the government side or the opposition side, may ask a question, and it is only a question that you're allowed to ask at this juncture. It is necessary. No, it's not going to be member from Northwest St. Anne, from Northwest St. Catherine. You same one member. And if I call your name based on the standing orders, so we could have finished long time. But it is obvious that it is going to be a consistent practice, so it ends today right here. Member, when you're called, ask your question and take your seat. Keep your mic on in the event that your question is not properly answered. Members, additionally, do not stand and ask a question that was already asked. Member from St. Mary, Southeast.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. So as I was saying in framing my question, Madam Speaker and Minister, land slippage has been a feature of these systems. In fact, over the past few days, we have had a lot of rains in Southeast, and we have had significant landslides blocking several roads. In terms of the engagement with the NAA as it relates to clearing of these roads, Minister, I'm advised that there is a reluctance on the part of the contractors
Member,
to...
Member, point of order.
Yes.
Point of order. The question being asked by a member must be related to the statement made by the minister.
But I'm going there. I'm doing that.
The minister is not in charge of landslide.
But
You can ask me a question. Okay? These new members need to know the rules. You can't go landslide and road on the environment and climate change. It has nothing to do with what is said. The question must be related to the statement made by the minister. That be in relation to the statement by the minister.
Yes. May I proceed, Madam Speaker? The member who raised the...
No, member. Your leader of opposition business stood. Okay. Would you be so kind as to allow him?
Madam Speaker, I am very much aware of your intention, but I'm asking, Madam Speaker, especially as questions are framed, for there to be some leeway in allowing the member, especially where the issue is already raised in the statement, as it was. And it was just in reference to that statement that the question was being framed. I'm asking, Madam Speaker...
He didn't stand on a point of order, however, he was given the latitude as he was speaking on behalf of the members on his side of the House. So that's why I permitted the member to speak. Thanks, opposition, leader of opposition business. Members, I am happy to sit here very quietly until you're ready to continue with the sitting. Member from St. Mary Eastern, from St. Mary Southeastern.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The member who rise on a point of order from St. Catherine Southwest is actually correct. I have heard the pleadings of the leader of opposition business in the House. However, the statement by the minister is as it relates to the weather system, even if reference is made to landslides. In respect of questions you're asking about landslides and clearing of blockage and its connection to NAA, or in fact, even, that's what he asked. I listened to his question. I'm not sure if some persons even listen. It would not be an appropriate question for the minister based on the statement he made.
But with
so phrase your question in keeping and members.
Madam Speaker, the issue that we are discussing in terms of the system.
No, member, ask your question, and that's not an appropriate question.
Can they, and thank you for allowing me, Madam Speaker.
Ask your question.
Can the minister advise me and the House if, because as I said, there is a difficulty in terms of contractors indicating that they are not getting paid to clear the road.
Member, please take your seat. Member, take your seat. The member from St. Mary's Southeast, please take your seat. House Leader.
Madam Speaker, I think, as has been said,
take this away because
the House,
my blood is boiling, and we are not going to listen to all of this fanatics. But Rattigan, you know, being the legal mind, and let me just shape the narrative here, because as it relates to parliamentary standing orders, based on what we just listened, it seems as if it shaped that whatever is going to discuss as it relates to the business of the day, that definitely drafted by the government or the incumbent side, that the whole, as it relates to confine their discussions on the itinerary that being written. I want to ask a question, Ratty. For political representation, here is the member of South Mary. We have a surface draft developing in the Caribbean, right? The issue of blockage and drainage and all of them thing there is relevant to the current situation. Now the member want to put that in and seek some clarity. They are saying that it cannot be discussed because it is not a part of what listed as it relates to the business of the day discussion in Parliament. Now, if that is how the standing order being written, it's a fundamental wrong. Because for each member that represent their constituency in Parliament, which is the People's Parliament, the political representative, right, is not going to be allowed to ask questions that affect that constituency or affect Jamaica in general. I want to know, Ratty, as it relates to that particular situation, and since, right, you are the legal mind, shape for us, as it, because guess what? Prior to Andrew Holness' administration, that never used to be the case. So then Andrew Holness, as it relates to his 49, shaped the standing order, right, to make sure that this seems like muzzling to me, Ratty. I don't know what to see, how you see it. You understand that they are confined, you understand, to discuss, to make discussions as it relates to what's slated for the business of the day discussion. Right? Give us some, educate us onto that situation, Ratty.
All right. The topic of the day, or the topics of the day, it's usually shaped, and I may be wrong, but it's usually shaped by the party in power. And because the ministers have to give reports, not the opposition. So it's a done deal. It's shaped by them that this minister will come and he'll speak about this, blah, blah, blah. So everybody knows about it. The question is whether or not you can ask a question that's not directly on point concerning what the minister said. The minister doing the presentation. Now, she's saying that you can only ask questions about what was said. This sounds to me like she's making it into a court.
Exactly.
Because in a court, if you're going to cross-examine somebody, you can only cross-examine about what was said on direct. You can't go, you can't go fishing all over the place. It's what the person said. You can't talk about that. And if the person opens the door for other things, then you can talk about that. But it's not court. This is parliament. The problem we have here is we have a bastardized Westminster system. And the system has to change. Now, here's where the contradiction comes in, at least for me. Last week in Parliament, ISAT Buchanan, Minister Tufton spoke. ISAT Buchanan got up and asked him a question about dengue. But here's how we asked the question. He said, listen, garbage is like a breeding ground for the mosquitoes that carry dengue. And so I would like to know what's been done about clearing up the garbage. No, that is not Tufton's bailiwick. He's Minister of Health. He's not Minister of Local Government. But guess what? He was allowed to ask the question. And guess what? Minister Tufton answered the question.
Exactly.
And guess what? The garbage has been removed. So this nonsense that she's coming now and saying that you can only ask precisely what was asked is foolishness, because as long as there's some kind of connection, because here's what this Minister of Water, whatever, Samuda, here's what he could have said. He could have simply said, listen, I will defer an answer to that because it's prospective and it has to do with local government. I'll defer it to that particular ministry. But at the very least, we don't get to hear the question. We don't know him. I mean, he's shaping up ask a question and we don't hear the question. So I don't know why in the world she would even prevent him from doing that.
Ratty, hold on, Ratty. Remember, he said that he was covering that ministry as well, because the person is out of the country.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Well, then it makes sense to ask him then.
Exactly.
It makes sense to ask him. But here's my point. Even if he wasn't covering, you still could have asked him because it's connected to his portfolio. And then let him answer. Let him say, hey, I can't answer that right now, or yes, here's my answer, something like that. But the thing about it is that she is setting this up to be, she's the way she's conducting business right now, it's going to be chaos and confusion. Because it's supposed to be free-flowing. So you say, you let them ask the question, and you hear what the question is going to be, and then you let the person answer. And the person can't answer, it's fine. Because the person says, I can't answer that. That's the end of that. You can't browbeat the person because she could simply say, ask and answer. You ask him already and he answered, so you can't ask him the same question again. But I can tell you right now, stay tuned because you're going to get a lot more of this. And you can see she's getting frustrated already. You can see it. She's getting frustrated. So I expect more walkouts. I expect more bad behavior. I expect more crass behavior. I expect more turning off of the microphones. As I say, muzzling of people. I expect all of that. And it's simply because you have somebody who's unreasonable sitting there at the helm. Let them ask the question and let people answer. As long as it's not a far-fetched question, let them ask the question. And the man is saying it's related. And here's the thing. Sometimes, to ask a question, you have to kind of like set the stage for ask a question. You just can't come right out. And some questions you have to kind of set. You have to give some context to it, and you ask the question. And her job is just to listen, make sure there is some relationship between the what was said and the question being asked, and then that's it. But she's stepping in, and I don't know who she's protecting, but time will tell.
But Ratty, before you leave, I am saying, right now as we speak, right, as it relates to Jamaica and a development that is taking place in the Caribbean as it relates to a surface draft building up. Right. And you think that Parliament is going to open today and address certain situation. That is a very, very serious situation that is happening. You're going to say that within the standing order, right, that you're going to write our within the itinerary for discussion, that is not a part of your discussion so that people can be aware as it relates to the current situation that is going on, Ratty?
It's short-sightedness on her part. It's arrogance on her part. And what I would suggest to every member of parliament, particularly the opposition, is study the standing rules. Study Robert's Rules of Order as if your life depended on it. Study it. Because I can tell you about a parliament where there's a certain group of people, that's all they do. They study it. And every time the speaker would say something, they would challenge it. And they would challenge it based on a rule. So that's what I would like to see. I would like to see someone say, well, look, I'm standing, I rise to unrule whatever it is of the standing order. And then you make your question. And then when she said, then you say, no, because rule such and such says you can't do it. And so you can't do it. And you hold her accountable. But you say, if you get up and you start to argue with her and get emotional with her, you can't win. She'll go turn off your mic. But you see, once you start quote chapter and verse of the same procedural handbook where she talk about, difficult. It's difficult. I would like to see them get up and say, Madam Speaker, I rise on the section such and such of the standing order. And then you say what you have to say. All right. I would like to say every time something like that come up, them quote chapter and verse. This is the way you deal with people like this lady here. This is how you deal. You cannot deal with her emotionally. You cannot. Because she have the power of the microphone and she have the power of this and that is what she wants. She wants you to engage her on an emotional level so she can shut you down. But once you engage her on a procedural level, she cannot shut you down. Cannot.
Okay. All right. Wifey, you want to say something, wifey? Go ahead.
Okay, what I was saying, because I think I know where the member from St. Mary was going with the contractors, because he was concerned about the cleaning of the drains. And that's what he wanted to talk to, because he was saying that the contractors who are responsible for the cleaning of the drain in certain sections of St. Mary have not been paid.
Yes.
So he wanted to know now if they're going to be paid, seeing that we're going to have this weather coming up, so that they can go, but they didn't want to get into that.
Right.
So I think that's why she got so upset.
She came in prepared. You can tell that she came in prepared to just shut everything down. That's you can just from the out.
Exactly.
She came in with an attitude. She came in with an attitude.
All right. That being said, let us just bring in melting pot in the space, right? In terms of melting pot take. Your 6 minutes, melting pot.
Yes, sir, Byron. Yeah. And once again, much pleasure to everyone on the panel tonight. Yeah. Based on what I saw in Parliament today, it represents the state of affairs in Jamaica, right?
Exactly.
And I mean, the state of affairs in Jamaica, it shows that there is no law, no order, and no respect, in the House of Parliament, especially, from the incumbent side towards the People's National Party, which is the opposition. Now, listening to the Speaker of the House, she was making reference that you can't speak unless you're, speaking in regards to the point of order of the day. But we know that, the point of order topic, cannot only be the topic of discussion. Now, in the case of this, member of parliament from Southeastern St. Mary, he was trying to put forward a very, critical point based on what he know is on the way coming to Jamaica. Bad weather. And I mean, the drain them, him know them no clean. And him had word with the contractor, and the contractor said them no get paid. But the Speaker of the House don't want to hear that, because that represent, a bad taste in their mouth as it relates to them being the government and all the drain them all over the place, not being clean and a lot of things not getting done. So Juliet is muzzling people from the People's National Party, because it's as if them don't have a say in what is to be said in Parliament as it relates to them looking out for the people that them representing. She want them to just merely concentrate on the point of order. Well, I couldn't even hear what was going on because Parliament becomes a chaotic place. And I know Juliet Holness, our first form of interaction with the public was going to market and sell. And she turned Parliament into a marketplace, basically. It's pure confusion. Mike turning off and all type of thing, and she just, intercept the people in conversation. Yeah, and I don't see the reason why, as Sir Rattigan said, she's supposed to listen. She's supposed to listen as the Speaker of the House. Yeah,
exactly.
But she's just there trying to bully. Yeah, because we see the arrogance within this woman from previous, sitting at the House of Parliament. Yeah, we know she is an unworthy choice. Not the people's choice, but Andrew's choice. She doesn't have the requisite to be the Speaker of the House because it relates to conflict of interest. She being the Prime Minister wife and a Prime Minister who is under heavy investigation. So you know that she going to defend her husband, not the people of Jamaica, not Parliament, but her husband she defend. Because we can't see it. Yeah. She's getting emotional and everything like that. I don't know if a Speaker they are supposed to become emotionally embroiled with what people have to say. Supposed to listen. And where if it doesn't fit or coincide, then you can, object. But I know what the gentleman was saying. It is a matter of priority. And based on the fact that the Minister of Local Government is not in the island and the person who is, putting forward the topic of the day for discussion, yeah, is able to represent the Minister of Local Government. It was said that he is representing him because he's off the island. So that question was relevant for the person to answer to.
Exactly.
So I don't know why Juliet Holness, a muzzle the gentleman. Why? And I mean, we've seen it and it's getting from bad to worse. This mic introduction in Parliament is what causing the chaotic mood that we see in Parliament. Because she have control. And even some of the word that she was using, that's not parliamentary word. You, I see you. All those type of words, disrespectful. You must address a person the right and proper way. Because I know Parliament carry a code of conduct. But where Juliet Holness is concerned, she's not obeying the law and the procedure of Parliament. She's a bully. She's a bully. Yeah, and Jamaican people must realize the state of affairs in Jamaica is really bad. Yeah, and it needs to be sorted out because we cannot have Parliament where it's like a marketplace. Parliament should be something that you can sit down and in your living room or anywhere and enjoy it and know what's going on. But Juliet don't want Jamaican people to know what's going on. So, that's where my 2 cents really are spent today. Jamaican people have to know where I'm going. Yes, sir, Byron.
Okay. Thank you for that. And before I bring Marvin to the floor, right? It is a sad day today, right? Because knowing to the fact and my concern, which is very serious, knowing to the fact that we have a surface trough building up into might be a potential hurricane. And situations as it relates to the question from the South St. Mary opposition member of Parliament, right? Wanting to ask question to ensure, okay, are the contractors being paid? Because we need to ensure that the contractors are being paid so that contractors can go out there, do the cleaning up necessary, you understand, to avoid flooding that may cause lives. And you are going to tell me that wasn't a part of the standing order to be discussed by the incumbent who claiming that they are representing Jamaicans? This is a sad day. This is a sad day. And what Juliet Holness should have done is to welcome a question like that and deal with the situation. But guess what, Jamaica? Let me tell you, Jamaica. They have no plans. And it goes to show you that Andrew Holness administration is not an administration that is dealing with, you understand, nation building. They don't care heck. And let me just see back and bring in brother. No, the court has granted Paul Buchanan his judicial review. Woo! Amen. Thank you, Marie, for that. So that's a problem. Several things coming down the pipeline, you know, particularly when we discuss some topic later. So without any further delay, let me bring in brother Marvin. Marvin, 6 minutes. Tell us your input as it relates to what transpired today.
You have 6 minutes.
6 minutes, brother Marvin.
I feel like I'm in the parliament. This is standing order. And you're giving me 6 minutes. I don't need 6 minutes.
All right.
Oh my goodness, he's in a dead zone.
Marvin going out and it seems like he has Wi-Fi issues there.
He's on the road, that's why.
He's on the road, obviously. But, you know, it's a sad day. Let me just go. Okay, Marvin is back.
Yeah, sorry. Can you hear me? Yeah, my reception is a little bit bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
But quickly, I won't be long. I agree with the lady who spoke and the gentleman who spoke last before you that listening to all of it, one, Julius Holness has always been a bully. That woman is a dangerous woman. I don't think a lot of people understand who Julius Holness is. That woman is a dangerous woman. And she was placed there to manage things and control things. Julius Holness is the one that is running Jamaica. You need to know that Julius Holness wear the pants in a scare yard. And Julius Holness wear the pants. When you hear that woman talk, that woman don't ask for opinions from nobody. She tells you what to do. She tells you what to do. And I'm going to say this. When she was talking, it's obvious that she don't want the country to know that the people are not being paid. And she knew that the guy was going to get to that. That is the only, and she tried to be very technical because she know that these parliamentarians who are talking are new. They don't understand the rules fully. So she's being very technical and throwing the books at them. She's throwing the books at them. That's all she's doing. She's just a distraction. She's a major distraction. And she wants, as I said, Saturday, very sad day in Jamaica. Good luck. I don't need 6 minutes. That's all I have to say on that.
All right. Thank you, Brother Marvin, because we have a lot more to say in terms of tonight. Tonight is crazy. Now, bring up, let us get into the awarding ceremony. And let me just give a background before we get there, right? Now, I'm not going to hesitate in saying that many of those persons who had gotten their award, I have no problem with that. But to mix, you know, the ceremony and put in an awarded criminals, I have a problem with that. And I'm not going to hesitate in terms of what I just said, right? Now, we know that for likes like Christopher Tufton, right, based on what transpired as it relates to the investigation with the Integrity Commission investigators. If Christopher Tufton was involved in politics, right, in some other countries, like Singapore, Christopher Tufton would have been in prison. I am not asking that. If Christopher Tufton was in politics within the UK, he would have been in prison. If Christopher Tufton was in politics in the United States, Christopher Tufton would have been in prison for what transpired. The $80 million breaching the procurement guidelines. You couldn't do that in the United States. Breach procurement guidelines. And yet, in a kleptocratic government, he has been awarded. And awarded for what? Under Christopher Tufton watch. 3 countries issued travel advisory warning. The United States, Canada, and last week, Germany. And this is the man. So what this goes to show you, that Andrew Ones is the head corrupter. Now look at this, my Jamaican people. Lift up that. Listen this, Jamaica. Look at this. Let us get into this.
Honorable Christopher Charles Tufton, Member of Parliament for Public Service, in particular the health and wellness sector.
Dr. Tufton is Jamaica's Minister of Health and Wellness and a Member of Parliament for West Central St. Catherine. He previously served as Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries between 2008 and 2011 and Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce in 2011.
Dr. the Honorable Christopher...
Take him away. You took $80 million of Jamaica taxpayers' money, right? And gave it to someone who you're associated with prior to you becomes a member of parliament. And not only that, this is the breach that you have done. As it relates to procurement, anything and any contract going over $1.5 million, the cabinet secretary has to sign off on that. Now, since Juliet Ones is talking about obedience of standing order, what about obedience to the procurement rules and guidelines? Any contract that extends over $1.5 million has to seek clearance from the cabinet secretary and the Ministry of Health. How was it that Christopher Tufton was able to bypass that? How was it that Christopher Tufton was able to bypass that and influence $80 million to go to the Benz Punani? So this is this very serious situation, right? Now let us bring in Melting Pot. You understand, for juggle this down. Pot, come in.
He's not there right now.
Okay. Marvin, your take on this matter, where Christopher Tufton is concerned.
For me?
Yes, yes, Marvin. Your take on the matter where Christopher Tufton is concerned.
Oh. Oh, listen. It's more than just the Ben Spunani thing that been talked about. It's more than that. It's more than, and I mean, some people might think that we are, being facetious or cynical about this matter regarding him. It is really sad. This man had an affair, an obvious affair with this woman, and you breach procurement guidelines, as you said. But I want to go far back as COVID, which I believe was medical apartheid, more like genocide on the Jamaican people. When we were talking about it, that the vaccine and stuff, we can't trust it and blah, 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 people called us conspiracy theorists. This man, while driving around promoting the vaccine in his constituency, his constituents beckoned to him that they needed water. And this is the man who shouted, which was caught on video, that if you want water, take the vaccine. That is what the minister said. If you want water, take the vaccine. Give you joke. Christopher Tufton's office, the Ministry of Health, is just a few $1 million short of $700 billion unaccounted for.
Oh, yes.
Unaccounted for. $700 billion unaccounted for. Oh, can we go back to the 24 babies? 24 babies died. 24 babies died in 1 month. Can we talk about the fact that the hospitals across the island have, when the rain comes, pouring water on sick patients? We're not talking about drips of water. We're talking about gushing waters through the hospitals. Can we go further to talk about the fact that for the first in the history of Jamaica, we had Chinese workers at the hospital protesting for wages? Yeah, man, Tutu. For the first, we have a drill, a so-called drill, that right now nobody's talking about that drill again. That drill. One drill who we should believe cost over $38 million. When all the checks were done by all the people, including the manufacturer, it didn't even cost. It didn't even cost $5 million. Not even 5. I'll go as far as that. It didn't even cost $5 million. And you know what? We swept that under the carpet. We swept the fact that hundreds of Jamaicans died from this flipping vaccine, which is a genocide, medical apartheid. People were forced to take it, forced. There were teachers who were promised incentives if they take it. Taximen were promised incentives, which is a bribery. Bribery. These people were awarded on Heroes Day. Jesus Christ. Honorary distinction.
Sad.
On Heroes Day. And you're telling me that we should just chill and don't say nothing about it. Just chill and let Andrew Michael Holness, the entire administration for the Jamaica Labour Party will be. I'm not ask Christ. I can tell you the future. I'm not a God. I don't have a crystal ball. But over my dead body, me, Marvin Adrian Edgar, I will be a part of the team of persons. I mean, already God might be on that team. The team of persons who will work assiduously to ensure that the Jamaican people get justice. These people must be held accountable. And as a matter of fact, I realized that Bobby Montague been asking for a gallas in almost every major town across Jamaica. A gallas. And everybody who don't know what a gallas, that's the place where you hang for your crimes. A gallas. And I'm going to say this. I support you, Bobby Montague. I want politician. Rob the
going in and out.
And I don't mean to digress, sorry. For water gun, 15 years. 15 years to water gun. While politicians who cannot account for $700 billion are being awarded on Heroes Day.
Love the input, Marvin. That's your 6 minutes. Really love it. Love the energy. Stay on, Marvin. We love what you are giving us tonight. Real solid energy. And I've said that as it relates to Marvin 6 minutes. Melting pot. Right, and take it away.
Yeah, well, I have a question, and the question I have to ask is to the select committee who select these people for award on National Heroes Day. Under what grounds and what basis was Christopher Tufton appointment for an award was
Under
conducted?
criminal grounds.
Because where we, stand and what we see a man who preside over a ministry that is in ruins as it relates to the Ministry of Health. That ministry is in ruins because of all the various activity that we see happening in the Ministry of Health as it relates to $700 billion unaccounted for, the non-completion of Cornwall Regional Hospital, that is an ongoing, project that has spiraled from a projected figure of $2 billion to now somewhere in the region of $24 billion. Yeah. The bad care and treatment that the patient has been dealt with when they go into the institution. Cardboard becoming beds. I mean, as Marvin rightfully said, we saw where water pouring through the roof and patient and lots of plastic bucket all over the place and the floor. We know of patient who cannot get medication from the government institution and where their family member went and spent $95,000, but that said medication was stolen and that patient eventually died because of lack of treatment. We know about the babies them, right? So many babies died in 1 month, 24 to be precise. You understand? And I mean, you cannot award a man who is in charge of a ministry like the Ministry of Health that we know is in such deplorable condition to be awarded on National Heroes Day. Now, that is cause for concern because we know as Jamaican, that Christopher Tufton is a non-performing minister. But we know them carry out some hanky-panky survey previously where they rate him as the best performing minister and Dr. Crab as the second best performing minister. No, I want the select committee to remember that that said ministry and that said minister were under level 4 travel advisory from international counterpart, first world country. So under no circumstance should Christopher Tufton be given an award. It is a shame on the select committee and it's a disgrace on the Jamaica Labour Party and it's an indictment on the Jamaican citizen for Christopher Tufton to be awarded such an honorary award. Because our National Heroes Day celebration, is something that Jamaican look forward to. Because we know, recognizing people who have done great things to enhance the development and the growth of Jamaica, such as our sportsmen, our musicians, and people within civil society who has contributed immensely to the growth and development of Jamaica. But where Christopher Tufton is concerned, there is too much controversy surrounding this man. So that on itself, should disqualify him from such an award. Because just take for instance, Christopher Tufton in COVID was out at night breaking the protocol, tying up man with rope. Tying up man with rope. A man that we don't know what happened, what transpired after Christopher Tufton arrested that man. So, we know a lot of controversy. We know about the 80 million market me controversy. Yeah. We know about some lies that was told in regard to him having an accident on the road that was never been captured on any footage. And we know Jamaican like to video things. Yeah. So where Christopher Tufton is concerned, this is a man that is comicable, to say the least. He's a laughing stock. Yeah. But I know we do have a circus in Jamaica. So why are we awarding a clown? Why are we awarding a clown a national honor? This is absurd. So, you know, we just have to just look at the whole state of affairs, I said, and it just point to the direction that Jamaica is in a bad, bad state of affairs. I yield back the floor.
Thank you for that, Melting Pot, for that powerful punch, right? And as well, Marvin, thank Marvin for that. Before I bring in Rattigan, let me just set, right, the testimony that Rattigan will be dealing with. Rattigan, 3 countries, right, as it relates to travel advisory issued under Christopher Tufton watch. The United States, right, as what Melting Pot said, right, a level 4 travel advisor. Canada, advisory. Canada, and of course, last week, Germany. Again, move. We have 24 babies that died under Christopher Tufton watch. Moving down the line, $700 billion unaccounted for, right, as it relates to the health ministry. Moving down the line, $8 million being given to market meat and no value. Moving down the line, Cornwall Regional started at $2 billion. Now a projected cost going $24 billion. With all these ingredients, what do you say as it relates to Christopher Tufton being awarded? Come in, Brother Rattigan.
Look, it's yeah, simply put, the award is meaningless. I don't even get worked up over it because over the years, you've seen people who are extremely undeserving of the award. They have received the award. I know of a couple of people who should have been anywhere near the award, yet they received it. For doing what? For doing the Prime Minister's bidding. I know of one person. Exactly. One person. Who and the reason why I say I know of one person, because I heard it out of the person's mouth. The others we can come up to some conclusion as to how and why they received the award. But here's the thing: besides the award being meaningless, you've said it all. You've sent out a litany of things that should have disqualified him, obviously. But let me just go to the part with the 80 million. I spent the better part of today reading that report again for the 3rd time. And this time I took notes. I'm not done. But here's what I can tell you in a nutshell. That there are several people to blame for the 80 million. You can blame the procurement committee, one who signed off on it. You can blame Minister Tufton, who, as the Integrity Commission said or indicated, was indirectly involved in the contract being awarded to this young lady with whom he said he had a friendship. You can blame the Integrity Commission. When you read that report, I'm telling you people, and I've been saying it all along, the Integrity Commission report, for the most part, is not on our side. Is not on our side. They come right out and tell us that the man violate the rules and the laws and all of that. And then in the end, what did they say? We are recommending that the ministry change its business practices. And that we are recommending it to the speaker, the same speaker we just talked about, that they're going to recommend it to the speaker. And if you go back to the Integrity Commission Act, it says that if you find that there has been a breach of wrongdoing or a breach of a policy, then you can recommend the parliamentarian to the Speaker of the House for action deemed appropriate. But this wasn't just wrongdoing. This wasn't just a breach. And Minister Tufton is running around announcing his innocence. By the way, and this is going to come out, I will also show later on.
Hold on, because you said something as it relates to the Integrity Commission. I just want to ask a question. Tell us on the basis of how the Integrity Commission investigators would have able to mount any charges against Christopher Tufton.
They said it. They said that they pointed out the Public Procurement Act. They pointed out the handbook. They pointed out a few laws, and a few administrative regulations, and they were talking about how do you go through the procurement procedure? How do you do that? And in fact, the Integrity Commission in one part of the report said that the minister is not involved with the procurement process. That's a damn lie. That's a lie. I can show them in the Procurement Act where the minister is involved and where this minister was involved, but he crossed the line as far as the personal relationship was concerned. And it's not just a personal relationship, it's a relationship. And I can, look, let me just, everybody know about Tufton. And you know, we have our own views about him. But let me just tell people that one of the biggest disappointments in Jamaica, one of the greatest disappointments is the Integrity Commission. Believe me when I tell you that, people. It's either they don't know how to conduct investigations, or they're afraid to conduct investigations where they're supposed to be conducted. Another thing they can't do, they can't write reports. And I've read several IC reports, and consistently they're bad. If you pick up an IC report to read it, after a couple pages, 2-3 pages, if you don't have an interest, you know, to really get to the bottom of it, you're going to fling it away, because it's not sequential, it's not logical. You have to go. Some of the stuff is on page 1, some is on, and the connection is not on page 2. It's on page 15, and then the next connection is on page 80. So you have to read that thing more than once, and you have to sit down with pen and paper and sketch it out, and then you will understand who said what, when, where, why, how. They made several mistakes. The stories that the minister told about his relationship, how he met this woman and all of this stuff, and what she said, they don't comport. And I don't understand how come them never see it. How come them never see it for ask questions? Another thing is that you can't interview somebody and send questions to them and tell them they must write the answers to you. No. If you are the anti-corruption agency for Jamaica, people come to you, you tell them, come to my office, we're going to interview you. But that's not what was done. Them take statements. We ever hear this? And make me just share. There's so many things I'm going to talk about tomorrow and Saturday, but let me share one. Let me just share one with the audience. Where people are going to be shocked for that one. Yeah. Section 53.3. Mystic, you know it by heart.
Yes. Music clause.
Section
53, subsection 3.
Yeah, 53.3 is a gag clause. We say that, and I interpret it differently than a lot of people, but I could just interpret it the way the Integrity Commission and the Parliament, the way them interpret it. And it says that until the report is tabled,
yes,
you can't talk about it. Right?
Yes.
It's a once investigation is over, and you bring the report to Parliament and it's tabled, you can't talk about it. Prior to that, you can't talk about it. Now, me see them do something. Them claim it is a policy, but it is not the law. Not only section 56.3, but 56, I think it's 56.3 as well. Section 56 said that if you get information that is considered confidential and secret, you can't share that information.
All right.
But guess what? My time up. All right.
Yes. Yeah. But right, I'll do your time up. Right. I just want to ask you one more question as it relates to clarity and understanding, right, where Christopher Tufton is concerned as it relates to how I see it in terms of the act of nepotism, right? Knowing this young lady, and as a result of the association awarded, he uses influence to give this lady $80 million worth of contract. However, is it one of ethics or is it one of a criminal act? And if it is one of criminal act, what tenants in the law that would pursue for him to be prosecuted on that tenant?
It's also administrative, it's legal, it's one of integrity. Minister Tufton essentially admitted that indirectly he influenced the contract. He said, look, I told my people that they should meet with this market me person. And he went on to say, as a minister, I have the right from a policy perspective to say certain things. And he said, and I suspect that my people are going to listen to what I say. So what that mean? If you are, and oh, by the way, and don't forget, Market Me wasn't the only company that was providing this service. No, there was another company. And what the rules said if you have another company involved providing the same service, then you can't get a direct contract. Yet all of the contracts, them were direct contracts, no competition. None of them competition.
And they were also over the limit of 1.5 million.
But you know, see what happened in one set of 6 contracts, right? 6 contracts were they said were issued the CMD and approved the CMD, and they were paid the CMD. And Integrity Commission said this we believe to be splintering, because if the 6 contracts combined go over 500,500,000, then it cannot be a direct contract. It has to be competed for. And what them do, them take the contract, like the contract, because of the contract was $1 million, right? And them and it's two contracts. And so them split them and say, okay, one is $500,000, one is $500,000. So we can do direct. We can do a direct contract. We don't have to compete. And this is one of the findings of the Integrity Commission. Yeah, this is one of the findings of the Integrity Commission, that they splintered the contract to avoid triggering the what was it, the 1.5 million rule. Right. People, let me tell you something. That Integrity Commission, first of all, the Integrity Commission Act, it's full of loopholes. Because one of the things one of the reading of the contract is that if you give your girlfriend, you can influence contracts to a girlfriend, and it's not a problem, because them say a personal relationship is defined by consanguinity or affinity, meaning by blood or by marriage. That means your woman, not your wife. You can give your woman a contract and there's no problem, because it's not consanguinity and it's not affinity to the 3rd degree, something like that. Them say it's foolishness. The act itself is a problem, and the implementation is a problem, and the people who are run the thing, they're problems as well. Byron Matilla said this is worse than you talk about. And I'm not gonna say they're corrupt, but I will be generous. I'll be kind to them and say that they're weak, but they're also working with weak rules. Because if you look at some of the punishment that they issue out for some of these crimes, there's one of them, I think it's like, what is it? 1,000 Jamaican dollars or 30 days or whatever, 30 days in prison. It's nonsense. And remember now, when they created the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, one of the reasons that ministry was created was to update the laws of Jamaica. And somehow them don't get to the Public Procurement Act, although they did have amendments in March of this year. Them don't get to the Integrity Commission Act. Them don't get to the Financial Administration and Audit Act. Them don't get to the Representation of People Act. And there are many other laws them don't get to. Many other laws them don't get to. So I don't know what's going to happen, because I tell you this though. If I were advising somebody who broke any one of them laws, a parliamentarian, it would be easy to tell them how to go around it, and they will never charge you. If I were representing a parliamentarian, I'm saying, listen, I want to do this and that, I want to get around the Integrity Commission Act. Me can advise him or her and say, listen, this is what you do, and you will avoid being prosecuted. People would talk, but make them talk, because you're not going to go to prison. Just do what you have to do. Them need complete revision of them things. Overall, the whole system. The more I read, and the more frustrated me get. But you know what? I will never give up. I will continue to educate the people.
All right, good. All right, the next topic coming up, all right, we want to bite into it. Because let me say this before it happens. I honestly believe that Rural Reid is going to be found guilty. Let me say that. Remember that mystic say that. Ratty laughing. Ratty laughing. I honestly believe that Rural Reid is going to be found guilty. Now let me start off, and that's the public court of opinion. Yeah. All right. Let us get into this. Judge rejects bid to dismiss case against Rural Reid. We are going to get into something tonight. But for me, I believe that Rural Reid, you understand, is going to face the pangs of hell. Judge rejects bid to dismiss case against Rural Reid and co-accused defense to seek judicial review. Problem did it. There was a new legal twist on Friday in the multi-million-dollar fraud trial of former Education Minister Rural Reid and his 4 co-accused. Now, defense attorney Hugh Wildman declared that he will be seeking judicial review in the Supreme Court after senior parish court judge Sanchia Burrell rejected his bid to have the case thrown out. Now, on Thursday, Mr. Wildman argued that the indictment order, because Brother Ratty, it seems like Mr. Wildman now is just changing, right, the previous defense that he had. Now, the legal document forming the basis of the trial only names Mr. Reid and co-accused Professor Fitzpinnock and makes no direct mention of the other 3 accused, Reid's wife Sharon, their daughter Sharel, and Councillor Kim Brown Lawrence. Mr. Wildman told the court this cannot be cured and said the trial is proceeding on an order that is non-existent. But Judge Burrell disagreed, ruling that all 5 accused fall within the ambit of the indictment and the trial will proceed. So it seems like now, Brother Rattigan, that Mr. Wildman is changing his way of defending Rural Reid. The first defense that he had, Ratty, if you remember, on Melting Pot, right, that he was saying that FID has no authority, right, to deal with investigation into the situation. But Ratty and Melting Pot, look at this. Defense pushes for case against Reid. Financial investigation. Let us look at this, Brother Ratty. And I am showing, no, this.
Defense pushes for case against Reid, Pinnock, and others to be dismissed. Isn't that what you just asked for?
No. Let us get to this one. Look at this, Ratty, the financial investigation. Look at this. Where I don't, looking at this, Wildman don't have a foot to stand on. Now, let me show you something, Ratty. This is what I want. I want you to look at this. It's at the bottom. And we are seeing now that it seems that Mr. Wildman is changing his means of defense. Just look at this, Ratty. So, Rural Reid is in trouble. Rural Reid definitely is in trouble. All right. Ratty.
Yes, sir.
And Melting Pot. This is what I want you guys to look at. Mr. Wyman claimed that FID have no authority to investigate, right? Royal Reed and Pinnock. But look at this. Who we are. FID is Jamaica Financial Intelligence Unit, referred to as the designated authority. Who is ultimately the Chief Technical Director? FID is a division under the Ministry of Finance, established in December 2002, governed by 1. The Financial Investigation Division Act 2010, Ratty and our melting pot. 2. The Proceed of Crime Act, POCA 2007, Amendment 2013. And 3. The Proceeds of Crime, Money Laundering Prevention Regulation 2007, amended 2013. 4. The Terrorism Prevention Act 2005, Amendment 2011, 2012, and 2013. Number 5, the Terrorism Prevention, right? Regulation 2010. FID is an integral part of the anti-money laundering, counter-terrorist financing. Now, the mandate, look at the mandate. To deter the use of Jamaica economy for money laundering, terrorist financing, and other financial crimes, while ensuring protection of personal information under our control. To grant consent to perform a prohibited act to financial institutions, to increase public awareness of financial crimes and the impact and importance of their elimination from the society. Look at so many arms that FID have. The FIU receives, process, analyze, and disseminates financial information, intelligence, statistical, tactical, and strategic analysis. The 5th, criminal investigation and civil investigation. Legal now, bring civil matters to court for adjudication, provide advice on criminal matters, right? Manages restrained and forfeited assets, right? Now, if you go down here, as it relates to POCA and FID, have specifics as it relates to the investigation tools, orders available for FID to carry out its investigation, with the ultimate being prosecution, Ratty, and melting pot. The investigative orders referred to as judicial orders include 1. Production and inspection order, an instruction to the regulated entity to hand over and to an authorized officer specified material relevant to the investigation of a financial crime. Number 2, customer information order mandates a financial institution to provide any customer information it has relating to a specified person. Number 3, disclosure orders mandates a person to produce specified information deemed necessary to an investigation and the information appears to be in the possession or control of the person. Number 5, accounting monitoring order mandates a financial institution to provide information on the account of the named subject based on future transaction. Take that away. Now let me go to the legal mind. Brother Ratty, based on what we show here, Brother Ratty, isn't that FID is the legal authority in terms of the investigation being carried out as it relates to Rural Reed? Your take on the matter, Brother Ratty?
Yeah, it's absolutely correct. FID can do it. But here's, let me just digress a bit and say, Hugh Wildman, noted attorney, is a hired gun. And here's what you do as a lawyer. When you have the law on your side, that's all it is. You don't file a whole bunch of motions and this and that. You go straight for a trial or whatever, or you file a motion to dismiss and you get it based on the law. But what's happening here is that Hugh are trying best, because I think he realizes that there isn't much of a substantive defense that he can mount. And this is just my guess, my take on it. So what he's doing is arguing procedure. He's not arguing the substance of the case. He's just arguing procedure. Them call it motion practice, where you just file motion after motion after motion, and you hopefully, one of them will stick, and so you will never get to the substance. People never hear, did Royal Reid steal money, or people testify, yes, he did, or what? You will never get to that, because that's the whole purpose of it. If you recall, the Prime Minister, with his lawsuit, the affidavit of Craig Beresford came out. If you notice, with the Royal Reid, you don't see no affidavit, nothing come out. And that's the difference between a good attorney and an outstanding attorney, because I'm sure the Prime Minister believed in attorneys them good. But what they did, they went and started arguing facts. They started arguing facts. And once you open that door, then all of these things can come out. In the Royal Reid case, if you notice, Hugh Wildman is not arguing facts enough.
No.
Procedure.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think I know why he's doing it, because he don't have a substantive case. Like you said, once all of these barriers are removed, and they get to the substance, it's over. But you see where you say more appeal the judge's decision. Well, you based on my knowledge of you love nice things, So nice things cost money. And if you have a deep pocket client, you're gonna say, hey, look, make an appeal, because your client no want to go to prison, and you want more money. So you just appeal until you run. So this could go on for a while before you get to the substance. What I'm afraid of is that by the time you get to the substance, witnesses are gone. Witness disappear, statements disappear, this and all kinds of things could happen. That's what I'm afraid of, and we know Jamaica stay ready when it comes to that. But for right now, I think what Mr. Wildman is doing, he's just playing the long game. He's like, hey, I'm going to stretch this out for as long as I can, and watch. If them deny this, I'm going to come up with something else, because here what him say there's no direct mention of 3 of the defendants. And therefore, they might use the underlying basis for the case doesn't exist. Well, the judge said, no, that's not quite true. Because when I'm saying no, if you notice, direct mention. Well, the judge has said, no, we can glean from the 4 corners of the document that these other 3 people are involved. So even if them don't name them directly, they are involved. We know. And Hugh says, all right, we're gonna test that. We're gonna appeal. But you know what's interesting? And that's why I keep telling people, when you look at an attorney, don't look at an attorney as a JLP attorney or a PNP attorney. Look at an attorney as a hired gun. If you want the service of an attorney, input theme principles, theme biases, and put it all behind him to deal with it. Because guess who's representing Paul Buchanan now in the case against the Prime Minister? Hugh Wildman.
Yes. Well,
Hugh Wildman. CM Hugh Wildman. Guess who defended the people, the 2 people who them are sued for, I think it's like $20-something million for property that the government build the road, the highway through them property and never compensate them. Hugh Wildman. So, me have not against him personally, because I said, boy, I'm have to put food on him table, and wherever I can find it, him go take it. So if him see you have a deep pocket and him say, hey, me can peel a case all 10 times and make some money off of that money, And even if at the end, him say, boy, I'm go to prison still, but not for doing it. You forgive me, you. I'm not giving no secret here, Hugh, so no hold it against me.
No, well, I mean, all right. The case with Paul Buchanan, as it relates to Hugh Wildman defending that, to me, that is more tangible, right? More meat and bone with that. So I do agree as it relates to Hugh Wildman defending that, as it relates to Paul Buchanan. I think that Hugh Wildman, you understand, definitely is going to come home with victory with the case with Paul Buchanan. But with Royal Reid, no.
No, with the Royal Reid case, I think he might come home with him pocket them fat, full of money, right?
Yeah, that's all.
But And I know I'm going to do it because I'm going to appeal. But the Paul Buchanan case, no, that's a very serious case because I don't know if you want to talk about it now or you want to talk about it.
Yeah, man, talk. I mean,
It's the Paul Buchanan case. Here's the thing about the Paul Buchanan case now.
Yes.
There under the Representation of People Act. I don't remember the section 6354. I don't remember, but there is a body called the Constituted Authority. And what happens if you have election irregularity? You don't go straight to court. And I think it was PJ Patterson who set this up. He set it up because what happened is that before people would go to court, and when they go to court, this thing would just languish in court for years because there's a case of a lady, can't remember her name, a lady who she appealed to the court because of she ran in an election and she lost, and she appealed to the court. And it took about 4.5 years before the court actually rendered a verdict and said, yes, you know what? You were disenfranchised, you were harmed, but it's too late. It's 4.5 years. The person who sat there, them term almost finished. So PJ Patterson come along, this is what I was told, and said, listen, it shouldn't take that long. So they put this constituted authority where everything is supposed to take place within 6 months. And the way it works is if you believe that there was voter irregularity, you don't go to court, you go to the constituted authority, and then they look at the evidence, and then they take it to the elections court. There's a court called the elections court, right? Now, a private citizen can bring the action still, you know, but that's just theoretically. Nobody is going to do that. I mean, only the candidate is going to do that. Now, what happened, what Hugh Wildman is complaining about now with Paul Buchanan is that the constituted authority looked at the evidence and gave weight to the evidence. So they saw the evidence and then they decided that, well, this is not enough to do anything. That's not their job. Their job is just to look to see if there is any evidence and then move it on to the court. And then the court will decide the truth, the veracity, the weight of the evidence. So what he's saying is that the constituted authority acted like a court, and that's not their job. Their job is just to look to see, does this person have any merit? Is there any evidence at all? And then they're supposed to say, okay, we see the evidence that people were disenfranchised, people were in the line at 5 o'clock and they were not allowed to vote. Or we see where people are standing less than 100 meters away from the polling station, which on the radar they're not supposed to do, or some other violation. Once they see that, then they're supposed to move it on to the court. But they looked at it and said, well, no, we don't think so right now, boy, this carrying weight. And they were looking at the evidence in a light that a court would. And so his argument is, judge, you have to overrule this and send it back. Send it back to them so that they can then send it to the elections court, and we can wrap this up within 6 months. So I think I've seen some of the evidence, not from Hugh Wildman. Let me just make that clear, because some people might say that, you know, I've seen, because the evidence is out there on social media, and I saw some of the evidence, and it's pretty clear to me that there at least the one I saw was a clear violation. Clear violation.
And in terms of my input, I strongly believe that Paul Buchanan is going to take home this case. But having said that, Ratty, I think I've asked you this question prior. Now, if the duration time, and this is what I'm asking, Ratty, what if the duration time to resolve the matter, right, may reach an extended time to say 4 years, 5 years as it relates to Paul Buchanan? And Paul Buchanan did not get to serve, right, in the parliament, you understand, to say, all right, you know, in terms of political representation, and he has been robbed from that, right? And then the court decided that, okay, yes, Paul Buchanan, you understand, won the case. What is the compensation as it relates to Andrew Holness stay in the position for 5 years, avoid Paul Buchanan from getting any benefits for the 5 years as it relates to political representation, right? What is the compensation factor as it relates to Paul Buchanan not able to sit in parliament for that duration time?
That's a novel question. You're asking about delayed relief. You're saying, look, if if Paul Buchanan, if his case is not decided for another 4 years, then
Yes.
what kind of compensation, what kind of relief can he get? The one case that I'm aware of, I don't know if the person was ever granted relief. All I can tell you is that we have a hearing next month, and hopefully that should be the end of it, in the sense that there's no further appeal, that they will send it back to the constituted authority. And then once it goes there, then they have to send it within a certain time period, usually within 14 days. They have to send it to the elections court. And that process is a very speedy process. That doesn't take years. Yeah, because the whole purpose of that constituted authority, that mechanism, is to shorten the time period within which somebody can get relief. So the whole thing from the time, because remember now, you have 14 days from the time they have the full count to appeal to the constituted authority. Then they have 14 days to, once you provide your appeal to them, they have 14 days to make a decision. So what's going to happen now is that this court is going to render a decision fairly quickly, and so it's going to go back to them, and then they have to send it on to the elections court. So I can see all of this happening within a few months. Okay, I don't see it taking a year. Yeah.
Sounds good. Well said, Brother Rat. Let me bring in Melting Pot. You understand? To warm up the place. Melting Pot, come in.
Yeah, my brother. Now, me I go refer my judgment on the trial with Royal Reed. Yeah? Yes. Because me know wild man I play a game. As Ratty said, I play a game if I flip pocket. And rightfully so. Because thief from thief, God laugh. You understand? Yeah. Now, I could look on the prosecution, in the trial, the former education minister, Royal Reed, and his co-accused, Now we see where the prosecution now respond to the defense submission, That's way you wild man I put forward, saying that none of the witness statement can be used to form an order for an indictment. No, you wild man, what happened to you, man? Look like you're gone rogue. Like you're gone rogue, brother. No, here is you wild man again now, as the attorney representing, President of the Caribbean Maritime University, Fitzbino, objected to the Crown, by granted order for indictment by Senior Parish Judge Sanchi Burrell. Oh, him for object. I want to you, wild man. Behave yourself, man. At time you know as an attorney.
See what I show you Melting Pot? Chips.
Well, I see the chips. But it's time you, wild man, know, as a senior attorney, start taking into consideration that Jamaica need proper law and proper representative who preside over law. You understand? Because they cannot say, that the senior parish judge, Sanchi Burrell, no have no grounds in this matter. Of course, an indictment, I want him to know this, an indictment is a formal written statement prepared by a prosecuting authority charging a person with a crime. So I feel him responsibility. You understand? It can't be that there is nobody to dish out charges upon people when them commit crime. So under no circumstance, you wild man are supposed to go down them road here. Wild man argument is that the order will be grounded statement, and that document arrived from searches in the breach of the Financial Investigation Division Act. Oh, if in breach, then we don't have to get something. We have to find the document wherever them is, We have to collect statement. To proceed with that trial, you need statement. So wherever the statement lies, we have to find them and bring them forward. So at 6 years, we don't hide the statement from Jamaican people. So now it's time for the statement them come forward. Because them case I need for wrap up. A guy not supposed to take them amount of money and just out there I enjoy himself like so well then a jollification time. A serious time. Jollification done. Cause we see around Andrew Willis I run up and down over the place and I go on like so well then you don't have no charge likely against you. Yeah. So you wild man now, yeah. He might try to get a case that has been lingering on for 6 years, thrown out. You can't do that, you wild man, man. You can't do that, man. But we know you try to broke this criminal too. But, you know, at the same time, nobody stress out the judiciary process, brother. You understand? Them case have to wrap up because you have so much case now with me here, you know. You have Paul Buchanan case, yeah? So that is another case. So wrap up the one you quick, man. Don't spend no time and linger upon it. You understand? Because we know the basis that the statements are inadmissible. What I mean inadmissible? Come on, you wild man, I'm here to talk to your melting pot and rat in the space, you know. And Sir Byron there too. Yeah? Them statements that can be inadmissible. Yeah. Because they were illegally obtained. What do you mean they were illegally obtained? If the statement is out there, the people have to get the statement from whichever source. So you call it the source of the statement illegal. Like some people go write something or fix up something. Then a wild man know all of these things. A wild man know these things now if you contradict where I go on. Well, as Ratty said, a motion in my file. You understand? A motion in my file. Royal Reed, you need to just take your medicine or else your cookie jar go empty. Wild man I go empty it. Yeah. You understand? Because when we look on all these things, you know, yeah, this guy has cite in his own defense that FID has no authority to investigate and charge the defendant. Come on, you wild man, man. You set the stage for far long for Royal Reed. You wild man has set the stage for too long for Royal Reed. This can't be real. Yeah. But you wild man go further, saying that FID was never intended to be a police force. We all know that. But them responsible for financing of the country and how the money side of things are going, what if it. You understand? Because I know FID responsible for the Ministry of Finance, you know. Them are the watchdog. So if the money are move, we have the dog out there, we have a bark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if FID a bark, me no want wild man come go like say you want juke a tin of sardine and throw out there and make FID now start suck the oil from the sardine and stop concentrate on barking. Cause that me see him do, you know. Some hanky-panky thing. You know, when you go in a yard and some bad dog there, but it's one way, you know, forget them carve, you just bore up the sardine tin and throw it, give them and them a suck the oil. No, man. Make FID do them work. Because when me I look on, enough ghetto youth go to prison for less than this. You understand? So a guy like them guy where we I look on, Pinnock and Royal Reed wife and him daughter, and this GLP counselor, yeah, Kim Brown Lawrence. Them figure prison, man. Them no bigger than we are where we have. And you, as an attorney, you can't farm them basis, yeah. Merely and where we know, as you know, want to paint a picture now, yeah, as if you want milk Royal Reed pocket and who you defend. Cause that me see, yeah, and that wild man have created, you know, a milking process, like him is a dairy company. Now we know Mr. Pinnock, Mr. Reed, Royal Reed wife, Sharon, and daughter Cheryl, as well as Jamaica Labour Party councillor Kim Brown Lawrence, all of them were arrested and charged from 2019. And all of them was charged by FID. So you wild man, you never know, so FID the charge all of these people. So yeah, say FID act, you know, out of terms. No, man, I FID the charge them. And you're supposed to privy to the facts of FID the charge them. So, oh no, you have problem with FID. Oh, you have problem with FID now, wild man. Come on, man. You need to get your facts straight. Yeah. And just do your work the right way. Yeah. And save Jamaican taxpayers. Right? Because them people that take Jamaican taxpayers' money for them own. And them supposed to get charged. And when we look pan, just the fact, I'm going to show you wild man now how we deal with things. The fact of the matter, because I'm going to do a scenario on the case, you know, for sure you wild man said this is an organized criminal activity by that little gang here. Remember, sir, 28 account the man them set up, you know, over the Caribbean Maritime University. The student pay them tuition fee into 28 account. Come on. You wild man, you don't know that. And you wild man, why Royal Reid wife and daughter and the Labour Party councillor Kim Brown Lawrence involved with Pinnock and Reid? You don't know what organized crime look like. You wild man, this is organized crime you look at in front of me, you know. This is why them set up 28 bank account. This is why these people involved. And to make matters even worse, remember Royal Reid also involved him help out this elderly woman. Yeah, whereas she take out an account in her name, but a Royal Reid money in there, where Royal Reid has sent him nephew to accompany this elderly woman to the bank, withdraw money, yeah, and send back the card and the money to him. This elderly woman also state that she only get 30,000. Remember also that Royal Reid incriminate him chauffeur driver, saying that this man run a catering business. This man come and publicly denounce that. This man say him only do drop off and pick up and run errand for Royal Reid. So it shows that Royal Reid was lying. Why Royal Reid was lying if Royal Reid know that him not guilty? Why? You ask yourself the question, you wild man. So you have to just get real, my brother. Yeah, and them things we are talking about we need in the country. Yeah? We need law and order. And we need people who have certain profession to act professionally and do them job and do it well. You understand? Don't be biased and take side and play partisan and, you know, all these type of shenanigans. Come real. Because this, when I look on an organized crime, yeah, it's a syndicate of them. And them defraud the Ministry of Education, yeah, to the tune of over $50 million. So them people have to be charged, yeah, and sent to prison. Just like any other youth from the ghetto. Yeah. Them to be charged. And at 6 years, the man get free. When should I in a prison? A rotten. I don't know, have him out there run up and down and roam the place. And no wild man want to come mount a defense. Eh? Wild man, you must not back criminality. You're a senior citizen in Jamaica. People know you to be an attorney at law. And we think better of you as an attorney at law. Yeah? We look on people like you to have justification up your sleeve and hand out justice where it's supposed to hand out on both sides of the table. So you cannot be representing these big wigs. Yeah, at all costs. Do the right thing. Yeah. Wrap up this case quick and send Royal Reid and them co-defendant them go to prison. Because the whole of them are criminal. Organized crime this. I yield back the floor.
All right. No, thank you for that melting pot. Now, Jamaica, what we are going to deal with, we are going to get into the art of an investigation, right? Because we have seen where Andrew Holness, right? And as it relates to Dushian Savadia. But we are going to get into some details, and I'm glad that Brother Ratty, right, is here to follow the lead in terms of what I am going to do tonight. First, I want to look on the meaning of conglomerate and make Jamaica follow me on this as it relates to my ardent listeners. Let us show the definition of conglomerate, right? What it means. And I want people to understand where I'm going. So a conglomerate is a type of multi-industry company that consists of several different and unrelated business entities that operate in various industries. A conglomerate usually is a parent company that owns and controls many subsidiaries. That is what, right, I want the people to know, which are legally independent but financially and strategically dependent on the parent company. Take it away on me. Where am I going? Where Mystic Sensation is going? We are going to the heart of corruption as it relates to Andrew Holness and Dushyant Savadia. Let us go to the Jamaica Observer and pull up this for the people. Now, here it is, Jamaica. Dushyant Savadia named Global Leader of the Year at Asian One event in Dubai. Kingston Jamaica founder. I want people to listen to this. Kingston Jamaica founder and CEO of Amber Group, Dushyant Savadia, was presented with the Global Leader of the Year 2025 award and the 26th edition of the Asian Business and Social Forum, hosted by Asian One Magazine and URS Media on September 19 at the JW Marriott Marigris Hotel in Dubai. Right? Jamaica, I want you to pay attention to this. Kingston Jamaica founder and CEO of the Amber Group. Founder and CEO of the Amber Group. The Amber Group, right, was established in 2015. 2015. Take it away on it. Now, I went to conglomerate to show you certain things, right? And I went to the next document that show you that Dushyant Savadia is the founder of Amber Group. Bring up the next document, Tony. I want people to follow me tonight. Founder of Amber Group. In 2015, the Amber Group was founded.
That's the next one.
Yes. Now, look at this, Jamaican people. Wanted to see this. Crypto trading firm Amber Group fends off rumors amid layoff and delay severance pay after FTX collapse. Former employees of Amber Group in Shenzhen say they were blocked by HR and the CEO after requesting money they are owed. The crypto trading firm has been battling rumors that it is in financial straits after the FTX crash, saying it's business as usual. Watch this now, people. Here is the original Amber Group. Look at it, people. The original Amber Group. Now, this published 11 a.m. 9 December 22nd. Signs of trouble are emerging at crypto unicorn Amber Group, which started in Hong Kong and is backed by big name investors, including Temasek and Sequoia Capital, in the latest reminder of the risks that remain for the virtual asset industry following the collapse of FTX. The company, which last week announced that it is 30-year-old co-founder, people, 30-year-old co-founder Tian Kolanda had died suddenly in his sleep, played down the potential impact of FTX bankruptcy last month, saying it had no exposure to the derivatives trading firm Alameda Research, or FFT, and the token of FTX and its money left on the exchange was less than 10% of its trading capital. It does not pose a threat to business operation or liquidity, Amber Group posted on Twitter. Now go back to here. Dushyant Savadia claimed to be the founder of Amber Group and claimed to have started Amber Group in 2015. But read this. The company which last week, and remember, this is December 2022, and I want you to deduct 30 years from this. The company which last week announced that it is 30-year-old co-founder, Titian Kulanda, had died suddenly. Now take it away. So, the inconsistency as it relates to Dushyant Savadia claimed to be the CEO and the founder of Amber Group. No letter in the word have been spelled wrong. Same Amber Group. And based on what we found, Dushyant Savadia is not the CEO for Amber Group. Based on what we found. Not the CEO.
100% facts.
For Amber Group. 100% facts. Let us carry on. Now listen, let us get into the history here. Art of Living Foundation and Amber. Big trouble tonight, you know. Let us get into it. Art of Living Foundation and Amber. Let us get into that. So we are breaking it down, showing Jamaican people and the world that Dushyant Savadia is not the so-called CEO and founder of Amber Group in 2015. Now watch this now, people. Art of the Living Foundation and Amber Group provide $5 million in humanitarian aid. This is December 14, 2024. To $5 million aid to the Jamaica Labour Party. $5 million US aid to the Jamaica Labour Party. Mercury. The Art of Living Foundation, Jamaica, and the Amber Group are providing $5 million US to advance critical initiatives in education, rural development, and prisoner rehabilitation across the country. The letter of intent for the assistant was presented to Prime Minister Dr. Most Honorable Andrew Holness following a meeting with international revered spiritual leader, humanitarian, and peace ambassador Kurdiv Siri Ravi Shankar at Jamaica House on Friday, December 13. The letter was presented to Dr. Holness by founder and chief executive officer of the Amber Group and special investment involved for technology, Ambassador Dushyant Savadia, who is an international teacher with the Art of Living Foundation. The foundation is volunteer-based humanitarian and education non-governmental organization founded in 1981 by Mr. Shankar and his centuries in 180 countries. Dr. Olney said the contribution will provide real and lasting benefits to many Jamaicans in need. No Jamaican, as we speak, have seen any of this benefit. He noted that through the Art of Living Foundation, Mr. Shankar has championed personal and social transformation, focusing on mental wellness, stress management, and community upliftment. In Jamaica, the foundation has supported over 3,000 inmates through its prisoner rehabilitation programs, right? None of this being listed or recorded or documented, and has worked extensively in inner city communities, schools, youths, and corporate entities, promoting emotional resilience and positive attitudes, Dr. Olney said. During the meeting with the Prime Minister, Mr. Shankar spoke about the importance of building the emotional resilience of the population as a part of efforts to increase the country's happiness index, right? So we are not going to get into the detail of that. Take that away. Where am I going next? Okay. So Amber Group had given the Jamaica Labour Party government $5 million US. The question, how did they come by that money? Rattigan and Melting Pot. Me and Melting Pot run this document, but Rattigan, more I look on this document. Alba, let us look on Amber Holding network from 2016 to 2025. Something we are going to show here. Now, Brother Ratty, look at Amber Holding Network 2016 to 2025. Look at this, Brother Ratty. Look at this. Look on the scale, Brother Ratty. Amber Group, created by Dushi and Savadia in 2015. Right? This is in the billion of dollars. So if you look on 2018, right? 2018 is only talking about 37 million. It's only talking about 370 million. 2019, 210 million. 2020, 650 million. 2021, Ratty. Now, let me go back here, Sir Ratty. 2020, look at this. The height of the COVID period I am going to tell you about. $510 million. 2021, Amber Group plummeted, escalated to $7.6 billion in the height of COVID. 7 billion. Right here it is. 2020, 510 million. 2021 in the height of COVID, $7 billion. Now, on God earth, we know that Amber Group, Amber Connect, did get the COVID contract. Yes, Amber Group had gotten the contract, the COVID contract, between 2020 and 2021. The government, as according to Christopher Tufton, said for the app, they didn't pay Amber Group. Amber Group did it for free. Ratty, where Amber Group get this money from? Melting Pot, where did Amber Group get this money from? Now, 2022, look what happened. A huge reduction, down to 300 million. So the money moved. 2023, right? 110 million. Now, let us go here. In 2021, take that document away. Ratty, in 2021, SSL, bring up the document, let me show people something. Bring up that document, that the one where SSL had lost $5.8 billion. Show Jamaican people this. Show Jamaican people this.
This one, the lady.
Yes. No. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Now, people, here it is. In January 2023, she woke up to the news of the SSL scandal, which centers on an estimated people, because much more money missing, 4.7 billion case of fraud that impacted more than 200 investors, including track icon Usain Bolt. Take it away, honey. Brother Ratty, I am asking you, as you have seen Amber Group profit margin, 2021 SSL closed down. NCB, the money that passed through NCB, as it relates to investors' money into NCB, NCB seems to cannot give account for it. However, in 2021, Dushian Savadia business, Mr. Ratty, plummeted to $7.2 billion. How does this look, Ratty? Let me ask you. Let me take for myself and hear your input in terms of what I presented. I am not accusing anyone, but how does this look, Brother Ratty? You're muted. You're muted, Brother Ratty.
He's not muted, but just not hearing.
Not hearing you.
Mic check.
Yep, you're good now.
Okay, yeah, my system, something wrong with it because the mute button wasn't on. But here's the thing. I'm trying to figure out if the Amber Group, the one from Hong Kong, when did it go bankrupt again? Or did it ever go bankrupt?
It went bankrupt 2022.
2022. And then you have this one here that's still doing business past 2022. Yeah?
Yes.
But the finances are rocky up and down.
And the question is where him get all of this money from?
Yes. In the height of COVID.
Well, if you recall, and you said it, that he was the one who designed and implemented the COVID system for Jamaica, the system that they hacked into.
Yes.
And people's personally identifiable information was sent all across the globe. All kind of scammers have people's information. And he said it was for free, but as we know, nothing is for free. Nothing is for free. Give with one hand and take it on the other hand. So the question, the jury's still out on where did that money come from? Especially, like you said, most of it came during the height of COVID. So when everything was shut down, very few transactions, large scale transactions were being conducted, were being executed. So the jury is still out where that money come from. Where do you think that money came from?
Corruption from Andrews.
That guy came from he's Indian by birth, and I think he acquired Jamaican citizenship. And I don't know if it was
in 2012.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Kenny Benjamin who brought him there or what the story is. I don't know. But then they brought the spiritual guy there after they went to India, after the prime minister, after he left, I think it was last year, he left the Onga. He left Onga, and then he left Onga in New York, and then he went to India with Dina Morris Dixon and others. And then they met up with this, and Kenny Benjamin was on that trip. Then they met this guy, and then the guy ended up in Jamaica, that spiritual advisor. And then you just show the thing where the Amber guy gave out 5 million. And we don't know where it goes. So I don't know where the money come from, but something that struck me as kind of strange. Go back to the chart you put up, the last thing you put up, please.
Put up the chart. Yeah, let us get back to this, because this is
what he wants.
Yes. Okay. So here it is, right?
The reason why I was asking you about the Hong Kong Amber is, if you look to the far left and you look at, it says Amber market capitalization, but it's spelled AMBR. There's no E there. So I'm wondering, was that a typo?
No, Ratty. It's abbreviation. That is an abbreviation. That's why I showed you the information where it spelled out all the wording, AMBER. If you want me to get back to that document, I will get that.
Because I was just curious. It's just an E, so why wouldn't they put the E?
No. It is just an abbreviation.
Yeah, but he's saying it's just an E, so why didn't they put it there? But it's still abbreviated.
It's still abbreviated.
It's abbreviated for one letter.
I don't know.
But that's all right. It's just a minor point. I was just wondering. That's why it took me back to the first.
Take it away on it.
Yeah, to say was the first one ever was when truly bankrupt. But that's the way you're saying. It spiked. Their capitalization spiked in 2020, 2021. And I think a little part of 2022, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So the question is, where did all of this money come from?
It needs to be like, look. If you look at the two taxis that Andrew owners own, that resulted in him being billionaire. And if you look on Dushianti, Savadia, Ambagu business, right, started in 2015, and then by 2020, the man is $7.8 billion rich in the height of COVID. Now, if you look on the similarities, it's also that in 2021, Ratty, SSL collapsed. Right? And let me show you something, because wife is getting into the jump portal. Ratty, under no circumstances that the contract that he was given in 2021 to create the COVID-19 policies and regulations and app mounted to that money. So we are going to get into it and show you on Jump, because Jump give us some information to that. So we want to make sure, so we show you that the money that was paid out to Amber Connect, right? Let me show you the money that was paid out to Amber Connect in 2021. This is madness. So wife is going to bring up that and show you that the money that was paid out to Amber Connect in 2021, right, was less than $1 billion. Far less than $1 billion. Right? So let us just bring up that as it relates to show the people something is wrong. Something needs to be explained. And Andrew honest, because what this looks like Dushyant Savadia is laundering money for the Jamaica Labour Party. This is what it looks like. Amber Connect. Right? Yes. So we want to show the people. Let us apply that. Okay. We want to show the people, and the people need to follow us, because this is very serious enough. This is very serious. Right? So overall, Ratty, you got it? Okay, we are just going through the steps, so just hold on, because we want to show the clear evidence. The amount of contracts that were issued to Amber Connect in 2021, right, is nowhere near $7.8 billion. And plus Christopher Tufton came out and told a lie, right, that they didn't pay for the app. Right? So, okay.
Ministry of Health, okay.
Okay, so Ratty.
Yeah,
so let us share that. We want Jamaica to see it. So look at this, Ratty. Here, 3 contracts awarded in total value of $2,228,141. One procuring entity,
which is Ministry of Health,
which is the Ministry of Health. See there? Right? So go back to the draft on it, the draft. So the graph.
Is that for the entire, hold on, is that for the Amber conglomerate or just a satellite of Amber?
It says Amber Innovations Limited. That's all it's coming
up
under.
Yeah.
That's all it's coming up under Jump as.
Yeah, it's probably more, it probably have more than one arm to Amber.
All right, but when we look at that,
that's the only one coming up though, right?
That's the only one coming up. So if there was more, it would have shown.
Okay.
So 3 contracts awarded, right? One procuring entity, which is the Ministry of Health, and the total value awarded $2 million. Get back now to the graph. So then in the same 2020, since it was only $2 million you so-called get from the government, me they show Jamaica this. Amber Group in a 2021. Right? Ross Ratty, hold on, man. In a 2021 at the beginning, at $8.12 billion, that's in a Ratty.
But Byron, remember, I said go up to 10.55 billion to, on the graph.
Hold on there. Let me search a graph are good.
Up at the spike at 10.55 billion.
No, man, Ratty, watch there. Me know the upper of the graph. It's a lucky things a melting pot, remind me. Ratty, look there.
That's where the money come from.
Where the money come from, Ratty?
I know where it come from.
Take this away.
Hold on there. Where the information that come from?
Eh?
Where this information come from?
From Google.
Well,
macro trend.
Macro trend.
Okay, because we just want to know if this is reflective of a tax submission.
I don't know, Ratty, honestly.
No, it's not sure not like that.
Take this away on it.
That show them net worth at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because them get bossy.
Where the company name? Where the company name?
Amber Holding.
Amber Holding.
But then was it Amber Holding will get the $2 billion contract? Was that different?
No, it was Amber Group. It was Amber Group.
But it's a part of
no, not name Amber Group. It name Amber something else, man.
Yeah. All right, but here why we know say it is him. Because Tufton was speaking in light of that situation with him. Dushian Savadi. And he was saying that he didn't get that. He did it for I need to show you
free.
Yes, I need to show you that document, Ratty. Take this away. You understand? So this makes matters even worse. You understand? We know that Dushi and Safadia. You know what? Let me just clarify it to you, Ratty. Dushi and Safadia COVID-19 contract. Show you. So we're going to show you, Ratty, that it was specifically to him getting that contract. So
the COVID one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It was him.
Mm-hmm.
So then the question is asking, that I am asking, right? Between 2020 and 2021, when come to $10.55 billion, where did he get it from?
The reason why I'm gonna ask you,
yes,
is because like you said, it's a conglomerate. Some of different
exactly. That's why I defined conglomerate first.
Right.
That's why I did that.
So what I'm thinking is that maybe all this money, maybe the money that you're looking at, right? Amber Holdings is him.
Yes.
But maybe it's not. Maybe that's not Jamaica. Maybe that holding, that graph that I'm gonna show you, that money could be elsewhere.
Yes.
Not necessarily in Jamaica. So the question then would be, how did he get that money, wherever the money is?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think right now we assume that money is Jamaican money there, right?
Yeah, that is what we're assuming.
Right.
But what you mentioned is a possibility, right? But the question still stands. How did he come by that?
And I would have ruled out that possibility because I know where the money come from. I would have ruled out that possibility. This guy now have amber spread all over the place as well, I say. He's a liar. And we dissect him and run him file and everything and him tell lie.
Yeah, because no, go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead, man.
All you have to look upon, it's 2015. Yeah, in the interview where this guy give, this guy did broke the 1st of January 2015. Him don't have no money in his wallet. Him don't have none in his account. Him car tank empty and him rent during the next week. And him say a godfather give him 454,000 US to start. But this guy just come at Jamaica. We know who is the godfather. Him roll out a red carpet game too. and made him an honorary ambassador in the fields of technology. We know who is the Godfather. So when them plays devil advocate, because this guy was nobody, not even in India. Yeah. And you see the two other amber were listed. One is from Japan and one is from Singapore. You understand? This guy is going around telling pure lie. Because 2013, him there in a Barbados, you know, as a charity worker group. You understand? And that him a do. And that.
Hold it there, because Latland said something which is that we can argue. Latland said, remember when someone runs a company, there are shareholders who get a percentage of the net worth as well. So keep that in mind. But what Latland also need to keep in mind, what we are discussing is the spontaneous development between 2020 and 2021. You understand? The island sum of money, how it escalate between just 1 year, Latland. 1 year. And then, after 2021, right, and go to 2022, all of that money, you understand, now reduced from out of the holding, gone somewhere else. So when you look at that, Latland, and you look at the pattern of how we talk about the spontaneousness, right, within 1 year, that from 2020 to 2021, the company have within its network $10.55 billion. And remember, Latland, this was the height of COVID. So then, if you, even the concept of shareholders, how many shareholders were going to take risk in the height of COVID, Latland? It just don't make no sense. Under no circumstances, as it relates to a pandemic, right? Well, where other companies fear to make a profit. The only two persons making profit awesomely in Jamaica was the Prime Minister and Dushian Savadia. The only two persons who had made profit in Jamaica during the height of the pandemic is Dushian Savadia and the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister had given him ambassador. So we can make that make sense, right, in terms of that, right? So, I mean, what you said, Latland, yeah, we consider that factor too, right? But, I mean, come on, which company you have seen that grew that fast within 1 year? Oops.
Byron. Byron.
Yes.
We just send you something. Take a look at that.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody just sent it to me.
All right.
No, when we are discuss this guy, you know, we have to look on him background and we have to start, you know, piggyback to him entering into the Caribbean region. Or him coming to the Caribbean region. Where him come as? Him come as a man who is in charge of a charity foundation.
All right. Remember
and
saying
the
this
charity foundation. The charity foundation was, you know, not receiving any funding. And so that fell apart. And him end up in a Jamaica as a broke man. But a Godfather then a Jamaica wait to receive him and give him 453,000 US. Nearly $500 million US him get. Him not go to no banking institution, just an individual. We know who is the individual.
Exactly, Melvin Pat. That make no sense, Melvin Pat. You're right with what you're saying.
We know who is the individual. You understand? Because 2015, the 1st of January, This guy out of his own mouth in an interview conducted in Jamaica state that him broke. You understand? And this guy never make himself a man in India or nowhere else. Him leave all UK. I was residing in UK at one point in time. And him leave for the Caribbean because him have marriage problem and you know somebody from within the charitable group said better him come to the Caribbean for peace of mind.
All right, what on the melting pot? Let me give you some more ammunition. Look on this way, Ratty just sent me. Unveil Amber contract, golden demands. February 24, 2021, you know. So based on what I am saying as it relates to what we just look into jump, it was him that the contract went to, and I'm glad that this person sent this to Rattigan to confirm what I'm saying. Here it is. Opposition leader Mark Golden is demanding that Prime Minister Andrew Leslie bear the contract it used to engage Amber Group to build out the Jam COVID-19 application, which is under increased scrutiny. Following reports that an alleged second scrutiny flaw had been discovered with information that contained passwords for access to the back end of the application, its developer, the Amber Group, has gone on the defense. Right? So this clarify in terms of, take this away, Oni, in terms of what I am saying, that the contract, you understand, was specifically given to him, Dushi and Savadia. Go ahead now, Melting Pot.
Yeah, well, I want the people to know, sir. And just set up that youth in a business. Use him, yeah? Let me just make it, you know, clear to the people. And just set up this youth here. Andrew gave him the money. Andrew was the godfather, yeah? So when we are look for Amber Holding, Andrew business that is why Tough Tongue said the app was done for free. Could be, yeah? And that is why 500 million US have to come back to the Labour Party, and them categorize three, you know, pivotal point where them say the money was for rehabilitation for the prison, yeah, education and rural development. But we not see no money spent at them department, yeah. Yeah, this a lie again. Yeah, but them have to use this narrative to back up what them are going with. Yeah. But this Amber in a Jamaica, you know, yeah. It's a fictitious Amber. You know the real Amber this. You understand? This is why even when the money, the 5 million, sorry, I did say 500, the 5 million US granted out, yeah? It come under Art of Living Foundation and Amber Group. Now, what is Art of Living Foundation? Because we know a foundation to be charitable, you know, charitable group, you understand? Yeah? Art of Living Foundation and Amber Group. So it shows that the money come from two bodies. You understand? But we don't know about the Art of Living Foundation. So you say everything what them put out, you know, I just garbage, I just corruption, I just thing to cover them track to deflect people attention. Yeah? Because there is no such Art of Living Foundation that I know of. I don't see the people in Jamaica benefit from this, who don't have smart people out on the road homeless and all these things. Yeah, so not like this. This guy is in Jamaica, yeah, as a laundry washer, yeah, a day's worker for Andrew and the Labour Party. And that's my vision, take me. You understand? Because this guy don't have no profile nowhere else in the world apart from Jamaica. When him there in India, I'm a drunkard. You understand? Drink over a liter of alcohol, smoke 60 cigarettes every day. Yeah? Get kicked out of parents' house, end up in a restaurant as a kitchen porter, asleep on the counter. Yeah, that has age 14. By age 16, yeah, him end up at the piloting. So he must study for pilot. Yeah, but him not a university degree to begin with. And first, in background dealing with drugs, him could never enter any aviation school. Me know that for a fact, so I'm a tell. So from you see a man I tell lie from the beginning, a lie straight to the end. This guy is washing money for Andrew Holness and the Labour Party. This is why yesterday, close relationship. This guy just come at Jamaica 2015, you know. And him is now ambassador. Red carpet roll out. You understand? And you see what Andrew do? When Andrew and out the ambassador thing, you know, you what Andrew do now to make it look like it real. Andrew come up with 4 new ambassador. Yeah, for special investment envoy. That are the framework. Yeah. But the 4 businessmen now are Adam Stewart. Well, we know him a businessman for tourism. You have Teresa Robert for culture and arts. As well as Light Carney. Yeah, we know him have some farmer business in the US. Yeah. But this guy, Dushan Shabadia, for technology. Where him pop up from? But Andrew have to put him around them business people if it look like a real business people. This one is a fraud. Dushan Shabadia, a fraud businessman. Him not a businessman. And Andrew need to know, say, there's no secret where him can hide where we can uncover. Yeah, this is a criminal in our place. And the various activity we are damaging democracy. Him play a vital role in the election by jamming the system. Them Andrew have him as a mafia because Andrew is a mafia. You understand? So I want my Jamaican people to know that this guy is a criminal in our place. And he must be arrested and charged for criminal activity. US take a look on this guy because I'm a deal with the currency. We don't need to take a look on him. He is criminal in Jamaica. I now put my mouth on ground and talk, you know. I talk it out loud because I do the research and I can't find nothing credible about this guy. Yeah, a guy that is a known alcoholic individual from the age of 12, get kicked out of parents' house at 14. But then by 16, him in an aviation training school. Lie! What can go so?
On the melting pot. Let me ask you on Ratigan. A question. Right? Okay. Based on Dushan Savadia, history or profile, came to the country in 2012. Right? Bounce around a bit. What would convince a person where Dushan Savadi doesn't have a strong background in business or any form of history that would have shown Dushan Savadi to be a successful businessman? What would convince the person who gave Dushan Savadi $48,000, 48,000 US dollars?
Not 48, 454,000 US.
454,000 US dollars. What would convince that person? And I'm asking about Melting Pot and Ratty. What you think would convince that person, knowing to the fact that Dushan Savadi doesn't have a strong profile in business or in a successful business, right? But that particular person take up 450,000 US dollars and give to Dushan Savadi. See if you can answer that question for me, Melting Pot, and then Brother Ratty. You know, we are just thinking around the issue.
Well, the only theory that me can come up with is that, you know, where this guy get the money from, yeah, is a criminal network, and I'm affiliated to the criminal network, yeah, and the criminal network, we know who lead it. You understand? The money I run, you know, and it's so them have to move the money and wash the money and put in all them Ponzi scheme, yeah, them shell company, yeah. Yeah, because another Ponzi scheme, this Amber Group, you know. Yeah. But we Andrew, they move it from investment now. Like, and put it to our business. But business Amber Group for this guy now exists nowhere in the world when I talk about. Him have 30 country. And him have 11 successful branch. Well, if you have it, hey, I wanted that guy, yeah, man. This guy is a criminal where I look on our place, you know. Yeah. Because when I look and search, you know, I can't find the Jamaica leg of the Amber Group, as well as saying at the UK. I book up on the one from Singapore and the one from Japan. You understand? And me know and where Byron say rightfully, yeah? You can't just come up with a name like that where exists out there, you know. Them lawsuit you, yeah? And me sure know him a part of the conglomerate group of Amber Company, yeah? Because him say him come set up this in a Jamaica, yeah? 2015, you understand? And we know the source of the money, where it come from. Yeah, because this guy never go into no bank, you know, because you can't just come out place, nobody don't know you. But you get nearly $500 million US, but nobody don't know you're a stranger in our place. But you end up with them size of money there. Then, I mean, come on now. You know, we're not daft to the reality of where we're going. Because, oh no, Jamaican never get them opportunity there. This guy could have run and go back to India. India is a vast piece of land. Him could have taken all the Himalayan trail and up all in China too. You can't find him though. Or you take the risk to give him 454,000 US. Oh, you do that? So a close connection. Him come for work for these people because them cannot get busted in no more financial institution with the Ponzi scheme. So them set up a business model. Yeah. And because them know more Amber out there, it will reflect like them broad. No. Them not belongs to the original Amber group them. This guy no belongs to them. So we know where going. It's a laundry company and this guy is a day's worker. And him do laundering. He's a washer. Yeah, for the Labour Party, Andrew Holness. Yeah, that's why Andrew turned him in an ambassador to raise him profile like him clean him. Him a shit, him dirty. Andrew can't raise nobody profile because Andrew a shit and Andrew dirty too. Show me your company, I tell you who you are. You understand? But Andrew we know have up the youth underneath him wings. Him a work for Andrew and him working at the election for Andrew. That's why Andrew tell we, yeah, say him now call the election date until him certain say him can't win because Andrew have the people them with the mechanism scope to do the dirty work. This guy is one of them. Can tell you say him can't jam all traffic light, you know. So him jam the electronic system in the election. Yeah. Them knock out all internet and light. Can tell you say him have connection with GPS and him set up them apps. But when you check it out, a lie him I tell him never set up no app for GPS. Call that him tell lie pan. So you can't have a liar in the place to operate. Yeah. Boy, my angle so much money, it's fictitious. But then the graph show right now the period of COVID, him and Andrew Holness alone soar. Like them get some windfall profit from some of them, you know. Because the whole world locked down, you know. All UK locked down a furlough. UK workers them depend. The company them locked down. Minimal worker go on. You understand? But this guy and Andrew was working for them company and make bag of money. I mean, no said this and a rocket science, so people look on and know say yes, the two man growth tied together. It's just a reflection of the one growth, the Andrew growth. But Andrew had deflected to the Shan Shabadia. Andrew growth.
And Ratty, bear in mind, all right, in 2012, right, when he came to Jamaica, he practiced. He was in the charity group for 3 years. But remember that the charity group, the charity got, got dissolved because there was no funding coming in. Now, then if that is so, that the charity group got dissolved because no funding coming in, and as such, in turn and create Amber Connect in 2015, and which he built Amber Connect into Amber Group as according to him. Then if the charity collapse, how the charity now would be able to, how him and the charity now would be able to give $5 million US to Andrew Holness.
You see, the thing that I'm not so clear on, and Melting Pot brought it out is that there seems to be, I'm not sure if it's one amber, two amber groups, three amber groups, four amber groups, and then he's making the claim as if it's one amber and he's the CEO of the amber, all of the amber.
He said it.
All of the, no, but melting pot. Here's why I'm not so sure. The one that's in Singapore, is he, and the one that's in the UK, is he in charge of those?
No. The one in Singapore is a young guy by the name of Michael Yu.
I know about the one in the UK.
Yeah, him not have nothing to do with them, Ratty.
And that's why I said, I lean to what you said to me now, right? Where you said to me, where you said it appealed to me now that maybe when he might try to scam and I give the impression that all of them member groups are 81 countries or something.
That's what he's doing, Ratty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Ratty.
Okay. All right.
That's what he's doing. And so then he's now on his website claiming that he's providing service for over 30 countries.
Right.
So hold on. Let me ask a question now. How is it that you Mystic and you Melting Pot, you can decipher this code, you can do this research, and you can come up with all of this information? And we have investigative journalists, we have regular journalists, we have broadcasters, we have all them people in Jamaica where this man is. And we can't see no reporter come out from them about him.
Well, Ratty, I don't know if them afraid to put out the report based on how the country are run and the fear factor surrounding, anything where you touch in regard to these people who are run the system. But I know say a garbage them I deal with because I do the research, I find him skill, show them net worth and everything like that, and dig deep into him profile and see say no really exists.
All right, Melting Pot. Watch this. Well, on the Melting Pot. Big up this on it that we can't see.
Right. This is what me I talk about.
Well on the Ratty. Because this is where it's even more serious. Here it is. There are no prominent amber groups in Jamaica. The search result refer to a gemstone amber, a global tech company, Amber Group, and a large Indian manufacturing company, Amber Group India. Right? The question likely stems from confusion between the various entities named Amber Group.
So read the different ones here.
All right. You have gemstone amber. This is a fossilized tree resin, not a company. Global tech company, the Amber Group, is a Singapore-based company found in 2017. But there is no specific mention of a Jamaican presence.
Nah, tell you, man.
The Amber Group, hold on. I Google tell you this in a Ratty. The Amber Group is a Singapore-based company founded in 2017. But there is no specific mention of a Jamaican presence. No, Indian manufacturing company. There's a large Indian company called Amber Group India, but it is not based in Jamaica. No, vehicle tracking. There is also a company called Amber Connect in the vehicle tracking and telematics space, but no specific location in Jamaica is mentioned. So, what happened to the first part? Okay. So, Ratty, this is really confusing. Right? No.
Right. That's what I said to you. That's what I asked. I said.
All right. Watch this now, Ratty. Hold on there. This is what he's doing. Really criminal mastermind, this, because he must fuse himself like he's those company. Look at this company that him claims him have. Our companies, Amber Connect, Amber Innovations, Amber Fuel, Amber PA, Amber Rewards, Amber Aviation, Amber Aviation, Amber Academy, Amber Cyber, Amber Yacht, Amber Funny, Amber Media, Amber Launchpad, Amber On Time. Now what's this now, Ratty? Amber Connect is the world's most sophisticated AI-powered vehicle telematics, security, and fleet management solution. The Amber Connect consumer app truly gives you a safer and smarter and better connected car experience, and it goes rare, blah, blah, with the foolishness about Amber Group. Amber Group Limited is a global technology company founded on core humanitarian values in 2015.
All right, there you
yes,
go.
In Jamaica and Bridge operation. And while Google I tell you say that no exists, take this away. So I am sure in Jamaica, as it relates to Andrew Holness, link up with this brother here, you understand, who's a criminal mastermind. You understand, creating all these fictitious so-called company that he has, but he really has none. Just like Andrew Holness created the many shell companies, Dushian Savadi is doing just that. And who that idea, who Dushian Savadi would get it from? None other than Andrew Holness. Creating shell company that not really exists. Selling himself, you understand, like he is the founder of Amber Group. And yet, you have an original, as a climb to Google, an original Amber Group out of Jamaica. Right? As it relates to in Hong Kong. That farm in the 90s.
Right.
The original Amber Group.
They call it 1992.
I remember a story a while back, and I just checked, and the name hit me. When company name in Jamaica?
Amber Connect.
All right, because that Amber Connect, I remember I read a story in the South African newspaper.
Yeah.
That was a Jamaican company called Amber Connect that was sending them auto tracking for fleet management with I think it was to the South African Police Service. And I see it right here where Amber Connect, a Jamaican tech company, that they signed a deal to enter the South African market. But the deal was to establish a joint venture with a South African distributor, opening up access to a market of millions of vehicles. And I remember I didn't hear anything more about that contract.
Well,
I didn't hear anything more.
I'm going to tell you something. Are you right? He went to Durbanville and did an interview. I know Durbanville is in South Africa.
Right.
Yeah, he had an interview done there. Yeah. And that's what he was trying to tell them. You understand? Yeah, but as you rightfully say, you don't see no further development.
Yeah, I never said development.
Because them find him out say my fraud. Them find him out say my fraud and him a tell lie. Because everywhere him go, him sell a different story, you know. Because did you know that 2013 him there in Barbados? Him there in Barbados and get an interview. Why him like the Caribbean and all these things. But then him say him come to Jamaica in 2012. So it's all over the place that scattergun guy. Because 2013 him in a Barbados and get an interview. You understand? And that interview was more in keeping with him charity about wellness and all these things. Yeah, nothing to do with no technology and no company. But then again, it has shown him there in Jamaica 2012. Lie that. Him never in Jamaica 2012. And the Barbados in 2013. But everywhere him go, him get different interviews. Pure lie, I tell.
You hear him say no? It says Savadia says the partnership. This is one with South Africa. Will take Amber's products to Saudi Arabia, Dubai, and Bahrain, along with Australia. These countries, together with the African push, will be putting the little Jamaican upstart in a growing list of countries, including Trinidad and Tobago, St. Martin, the US, including Puerto Rico, Canada, UK, Spain, Greece, Estonia, and India. The Amber Connect CEO said the list will grow again in 3 months. This is 2017. This is 2017. This guy, we need to take a closer look at this guy.
Yeah.
We need to take a close look at this guy. Because I remember them say a Jamaican company, the South Africa. I mean, I say, what would a Jamaican company sell South Africa tracking device for fleet management? Them already have that. Them already have that. And if you're going to buy that, you know where they're going to buy that from? China.
China,
they're going to buy that from.
Yeah.
Much cheaper. Because if you don't sell them things that China might get them from too.
We don't manufacture them.
So we have some work for this gentleman, you know.
Yes, man. Ratty, we're going to have to talk out for the year too.
Yeah. We have some work for the this gentleman. I never know I saw Scamooching this man is, you know. But
yeah, man. Scamooching. And I mean, Andrew Wrighton right now. Andrew Wrighton, you know. This are the guy where Andrew have this guys all of the thing them where I'm going with. Yeah. Andrew Wrighton. Andrew import him, turn him into an ambassador. Yeah. Like him is one of them big tech giant, you know, CEO.
But how you can make him ambassador for technology? Can you create 4 ambassadorships, right?
Yes.
Right.
Like you said, we understand some of them. When you put Butch Stewart's son, Adam Stewart in charge of. But even so, I have a problem, because here's why I have a problem with even the 4 ambassadorships, because you have Ed Bartlett. You have Ed Bartlett on the Ministry of Tourism, so I don't know why you need an ambassador for tourism.
Right.
And then you have ambassadors overseas for the foreign market to gin up the support for Come Jamaica. So I don't know why you would need this money for it. But be that as it may, we can understand that, right? We don't understand it, but we understand it. But this gentleman, what we are talking about now, the reason why we find it difficult for really put him in another position than the other 3 is because him feel at the technology job when take the one for put the COVID thing together, him feel and the man them just put him up. Them say, no, we'll make him ambassador for technology. Or you make him ambassador for technology and the technology where him put up feel. How?
Well, you know, Andrew reward people for failure, you know. Because Andrew like failure, because failure is corruption.
That's so true, melting pot.
You won't get no argument with me from the point, my brother. You're right. You won't. You can't get any minister.
All right.
Any minister is a failure. Any minister.
Definitely. You understand? So we have to expose this guy in Jamaica for what he is. Yeah, and we have to expose the Prime Minister for linkage with him. Yeah. But we all know Andrew like them type of link up here. Yeah. Them type of link up here get Andrew here stand up in him back. Cause money it say, you know. You understand? And Andrew like for hide them things in a location where him feel it cannot be revealed. Andrew will crack the code, man. You can't have no code where you can't crack. You understand? Yeah. Because for you to bring them whole heap of Indian, you know, descendant in our place and just rise them over the people them there in Jamaica. It's like you tell the world that Jamaica people them now no education with a way behind time. That's you have to draft your guy from over there so and turn him in an ambassador. When the guy in a real, this guy is very fictitious and unscrupulous in our place. And him need to leave a place. And him need to get arrested by the United States. Because I'm do things with them dollars. You understand? Trump, hear my plea. And come for this garbage out of Jamaica. This criminal. He's a criminal. I tell the entire world. Yeah, because him come to UK, come live in. Yeah. And him can't make life in a UK, which have a bigger economy than Jamaica. In there, India, him can't make life in India. And India economy so large and the population so enough. When come a one little place, Jamaica, tiny little Jamaica, and him eat it off big time. You're mad? My Jamaican people wake up and smell the coffee. Yeah, because this way a brew, you know, smell like corruption for true. A corruption at its highest, harder. Yes, my brother.
All right. So, my gentle ladies and gentlemen, all my ardent listeners, that's where we're gonna come to an end tonight. And before we do so, Ratty, any last word that you want to?
Yeah. Pleasure to be back, and just want to let the people know. Say, check me out tomorrow. We have Jamaica. We have Jamaica as a guest, and we have Dr. Ben, and we are going to touch upon some relevant, pertinent, and topical subjects. And then on Saturday we start up the Rattigan University. So we have that at the level where they at now, where we basically teach. So come prepared for that. But before Saturday, there is Wednesday. So tune in tomorrow, 7 o'clock. We'll go from 7 to 9. Anywhere we reach at 9 o'clock, that's where we're going to end it. So tune in tomorrow from 7 to 9 on YouTube. Come Reason with Rattigan. And we have a lot to talk about. Oh, before I forget, there is an election coming up. There is an election coming up, people. The Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, they're having an election. I think it starts in November and it runs through early December. I'll give you the dates, the exact dates, but it's important that you register and you vote, because I only need to tell you one thing, that this Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, they might as well call it the Global Jamaica Government Council, because that organization that is supposed to deal with the diaspora and also cooperate with the Jamaican government where necessary to provide assistance, guidance, whatever. That organization is controlled, influenced, and run by the Jamaican government. 3 of the 4 governing people, that council of 4, 3 of them, you know where they live? They live in Jamaica. They don't live in the diaspora. You know who the head of that organization is? It's Minister Terry Long. Him run it. And what they do is they come and they tell this group overseas. And when I say overseas, it's not just America. They mean a Europe part to melting pot. They mean a Europe part to Mystic.
Yes.
And what they do, come and they say, listen, the Jamaican government is going to tell you what it considers as its national priority. And we want you to work on it for us. And you know what this thing is? It's a way of having the diaspora work for the Jamaican government, work in terms of identifying and influencing investment for Jamaica. It's about money. And guess and tell me what they don't do. The priority is not on diaspora members, because I know of diaspora members who are living in shelters. I know of diaspora members who are living in their cars. I know of diaspora members who need medical assistance, mental health assistance. I know diaspora members who need a little money in their pocket for help them. I know diaspora members who have issue with landlord tenant. They need a little legal advice. And this diaspora group is supposed to be doing that. But instead, the members, them parade as like tapanaris and them rub shoulders with the ministers and red carpet roll out for them. And it's all about themselves. Them don't care about you. And so the registration period has opened. It started last week, Wednesday. There was a glitch. And so the system was down, but I think it's up now. And I am going to run, and I'm trying to get Mystic and Melting Pot to run in their jurisdiction, because it's necessary that we do this. You know, say for us by us. It's necessary for us to take charge of this organization and make it be a standalone. You cannot have a foreign government. You cannot have a government run your diaspora organization. It can't work. It must be a standalone run by the diaspora, and then the diaspora now can interact with the government. But you can't have the government run your diaspora organization. And that is exactly what is going on. And people, if you don't believe me, I encourage you to do two things. Google Global Jamaica Diaspora Council terms of reference. That is their Bible. That is how they govern themselves. And then also you can look at the Global Jamaica Diaspora, the policy. Policy are one big thing. But just look, you don't really need a policy right now. Just look at the terms of reference. It's about, I don't know, 18, 20 pages. That tells you about the structure. It tells you about the mandate. It tells you about the responsibility. It tells you everything that you need to know about the Diaspora Council. And you will see one of the first things they say on the second page, I think they say that this organization is not an arm of the government. They tell you that. It's not an arm of the government. And then right after that, they say, but the government is going to tell you what our priority is, and you will work for us, and you will support all activities put on by the embassy and the consulate in terms of the furtherance of Jamaica's interests. You will, it says you are required, if you're a member, to support whatever activity them put on. What about our activity? And how them talk to them we are there? And then guess what? Minister Terry Long has the right to remove you from the council.
What?
Yes. You have the right to, him can discipline you. Them can, I mean, when you read this thing, and I don't know, shame on our diaspora members who sat at the table and watch them put them things and agree to them things. Yeah. It's a sellout. Because there's no way you can have your house melting pot and a man come down and tell you, your relative come at your house and I tell you how to run your house. And then on top of that, it can't happen. Well, that is what happened right now. Them come and them tell us what to do, when to do it, how to do it. In fact, guess what? At them set up the election, you know. Them run the election. And when you win the election, guess who gives your certificate? Not the diaspora that you represent. The government of Jamaica give to you. Government of Jamaica say, yes, you will represent. It's foolishness. So people, stay tuned for it. The period, the deadline to register is November 16th. So we have a little bit of time, but we don't want you to push it off. We want you to go and Mystic Agogio, I don't have it right. I think it's Jamaica Connect, something like that. But you go on and you can register to vote, and you need to do it because we would like to provide services for diaspora members. We would like to do that. We're not saying we don't want to help Jamaica, but we have a history with them, you know, because during the COVID period, there was a telethon, and the diaspora, I know the diaspora in America raised over $300,000 US for buy equipment and supplies for Jamaica during the COVID period. That money was given. That money was given. Not this, we never buy, them never buy no supplies, you know. Them give them the cash. And to this year, nobody knows where that money went. Nobody knows where the money gone. Nobody knows. And we have people who could have used the 300, or at least some of it. We have people in America and England and Canada who could use some of that money there. But we gave it all to the minister, our ministers, and the money just disappeared in thin air. So people, tune in Wednesday, and when you tune in Wednesday, we'll talk more about it. And then you tune in Saturday, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. And we're going to pull up the site, and show you how easy it is to get on and register to vote. And also, we want you to nominate people too, because the people that we have right now are dead weight. Dead weight. All them want to do is go to the cocktail parties and the ballroom, this and the that, and rub the shoulder with the people them and blah blah blah, and take picture with them and skin and grin. We know that. If we no go another function, we not miss nothing. We're going no function, right? What we there for do is for work for the people. That's what we there for do, and we need to get rid of the dead weight we have and put people in who are going to start thinking consciously, deliberately, willingly, intelligently about the diaspora. Not people who are thinking about themselves And that's what we have right now, a crew of people who are thinking about themselves. So thank you for the time here, sir.
Yeah, man. Well said, Sir Rattigan. And I know a lot of people I look forward to, getting registered and stuff like that. Yeah, because I mean the diaspora, as always, put them support, for Jamaica. But we can't put it, the support where we gather in the diaspora, in the hands of these criminals. I just rightfully said the money come down in a COVID and it don't reach the source. It stopped right at them foot. It don't move.
Somebody
these are the things.
Somebody asked how to register, and I'm going to send.
It's up there, Mr. Rattigan.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. See the people, and you see it's a register now, www.connectmeja.com, or you can scan. That is it. You get on there. And see, it started the 15th, started last week, Wednesday. There's the election from the 20th of November to the 13th of December. And just so you know, we invite Minister Terry Long, who's the minister in charge of diaspora affairs. We invite him to come on the program. I'll know him never look one way. We invite the Northeast rep for come on the program. Appear, excuse we are here. We not get a commitment yet, but we are waiting for her to come because she's been on my program twice. And the very first time she came on, it was clear that she didn't know what she was doing because she never even know the terms of reference. She don't know in the terms of reference. She came back a second time. She still don't know. And we asked her a question and she said, I have to go ask the ministry. You hear what she said? I have to go ask the ministry. She said she go talk to her constituency members, She go and ask the ministry. So you see who she report to. We can't have them people. And by the way, you know how much I've heard that the Jamaican diaspora for the Northeast, which is, I think it's somewhere up in New England, Vermont, Maine, somewhere up there, so all the way down to Virginia, my region, is upwards of about, it's somewhere around 1 million people. You know how many votes this lady who have it now, how much votes she get and she win? Think about it. Boko says 1 million people. You know how much vote she get and win melting pot. You know what she get? No, she get more than that one. She get 95. 95 she get. Yeah, she came crack 100. She get 95. And so we make a statement last week said 95 can't win the next election in the Northeast. Cannot.
Right.
We're gonna make sure that 95 can't. We have to come good for win. So people, stay tuned. But see the thing up there now, I'm gonna go register now, and they'll make the formal announcement. Make the formal announcement this Saturday. So we just want to just register for right now.
All right.
Vote right now. No can't vote.
Ratty, me I do mine now. Me I do mine now.
Oh, you register?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. And if you nominate, you can nominate yourself too, and people can nominate you, Melting pot, if you jump in right now, brethren, because there's a spot in England where the man run unopposed. Nobody oppose him. Nobody. And you see, this is what we are talking about, because we are saying it's not enough to talk. We also have to walk. And
yes,
this is something now, and this is an election now where them can't buy nobody, them can't buy no vote, right? Them can't turn off now. They turn off the electronics, them can't do none of them things. Right? This is an election now where we can actually say I'm gonna be free and fair. We can have people now just come in and just do what them need for them. And this is what them afraid of. Because what happens is that they want to continue to run this thing, and as long as until my soul take flight, me I go continue to beat them on this and say no, you can't run the diaspora. You can't run it. The diaspora is supposed to be a standalone. I have even people in the own ministry, Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, tell me, say, there's no way you should ever have the government run, control, or influence a diaspora organization. People in ministry have said them things out.
And we know that.
Jamaica have so much problems. Jamaica have so many problems. Jamaica have problems. The foreign ministry, them have problems with Haiti. Them have problems with CARICOM. Them have problems with voting in the thing there. Them have problems with all over the place. Why them want to take on this problem? Why them want to continue to have this now until be a problem for them? Why them want to continue to have it? because of money. Money.
Yeah.
Money them want. Well,
but at the same government where oppose diaspora being in the House of Representatives as part of the Senate.
Same so, sir.
You understand?
Same
so. When we look on how them, want to do them business, it's not the business of the people, it's the business for them. And we are dealing with people. People we want to empower and take care of. And when the funds come at Jamaica, it's supposed to reach the intended people. Because we're not sending diaspora, not sending money to no politician. Politician wealthy already. And the suffering people we are cater for. So there's no way them can have no farmer affiliation with the diaspora as it relates to, having a representative from the diaspora. Yeah. We have to select we want people them. So we don't need Terry Long tongue. We don't need Terry Long tongue. We don't need the influence of the Jamaica Labour Party. The diaspora is an independent body and it must always remain like that.
And look how them stupid now. Look at the control of them over here. One of the provisions in the terms of reference said that anything them discuss in the diaspora meeting, if you as a representative, anything you discuss with them, the government, the diaspora, they have a meeting every 3 months or so. You can't come tell your constituency about it until them give you permission.
That again.
Section 53, subsection 3, just get me.
Again. Say everywhere them go, them man, they want to get people. A total dominance, them want have, over people, Dictatorship, man, we can't have that.
Then hear them say to now? Them say, as a member, you don't speak for the government of Jamaica. Anything you speak is you're there for your own, because you know what they might think about. They might think about a lawsuit. If a lawsuit lick you and you drag them in, so they must say, well, no, we're not really involved with them people. Anything them say themselves on their own, right? Them not say it with us. But at the same time, them want you to do them bidding. And they must say it's not an arm of the government. But it's not an arm of the government, but it's run by the government, it's directed by the government, it's controlled by the government, it's influenced by the government. And them say it's not an arm of the government. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it. Oh, Gillian,
this Labour government, a chicken back brain them have, because I sure know them must realize, well, then people in the diaspora would have pushed back on this, because we know easily can identify where them are go with them look at hanky-panky thing, because here what you say a while ago, it just tell me, say, them want to carry you go see, but when you drown, them leave you for drown on your own. That means them no want a lawsuit reach them, it must reach you.
Exactly.
The individual. So it just show you corruption.
You know them though? Because last year we registered it, Them put a rule in. Them have a rule in there now. We say that you can't be a member and go register the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council anywhere. I say, well, hold on. If you don't want people to register it, then you register it then, and then nobody can nobody can touch it if you register it. But you don't know what now, people, them can't register it in America because guess what? No, them can't register it and have 3 government officials pan it. Them can't do it. Them can't do it. So them claim say it's an advisory body, and we are saying no. You can't tell me
advice from them.
Yeah. Listen to this. Somebody make the argument the other day, and them really some Jamaican people, they might cuss me out, right? Because them say right now, boy, my face stand forward because me ask all kind of questions about consultants. Because them said the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council is supposed to be a consultative body. So what I did an ATI, and I asked all of the ministries, them say, give me a list of all of the consultants, paid and unpaid, we want to have. So I get a list. So I said, well, wait a minute now. They might pay people, including people who live overseas, to do things, for consult and advise them. And I said, so why they would want the diaspora now to advise them and then advise them for free? Because guess what happened? You see the Brand Jamaica contract. You know who get that? It's a company from Spain. You tell me, said no Jamaicans don't know how to promote Brand Jamaica. No Jamaicans know how to do that. No Jamaican company can do that. Them give to a company from Spain. So I said, then if you not get advice from them people, why you don't want us then? Where we can give you that them can't give you. You pay them enough. You are pay them. So anything you want, you can get from them. So what is it that we are going to give you that for free that they are not giving you and they're being paid? What?
Right.
What? No answer. No answer. So we need to rise up and take this and take this organization in a different direction. We need to take it in a direction where it is run by the diaspora members, it is controlled by the diaspora members, it is influenced by us. And if the government have any place, I don't see them have no place behind the board with the diaspora. However, if somebody say, yeah, give them a space, they will come with observer status. And what happens is that they can't come to all the meetings. Them can't come to all the meetings. Right now, when them have filler meetings, you think we can go for the meetings when them have the meetings but the diaspora at the ministry? No. Them talk about us and we not present. And then them come out and say, okay, we have decided that this is what you're going to do. No Sankey, no sing so.
No, sir.
No.
We are hold them accountable for all of them grounds and them issue, man. Them can't have no membership in the diaspora council. Yeah?
And remember, now, them want to hold on upon it in this organization. Yeah. I remember now, just like what Gillian said a while ago, remember what them say now? Them say, remember the Prime Minister said, just because you're born a Jamaican, don't make you a Jamaican. It depends on the choices you make for your country, and that make you Jamaican. Right? So, so Melton Pot, you get nominate yourself and make people nominate you, brother.
Well,
you have to do no, we can't talk. We have to do something. We have to
never act on that, man. Come on. Okay, never act on that because the people want to see my name out there. They want to have the option to support me in that regard.
There you go.
Because I speak on behalf of the country and the people. Yeah, and we have the country interest at heart because we're patriotic. Yeah, we don't want to look, the red carpet roll out by a government official and we each upside of them in a photo app. That now going to make our work credible. Our work is to work for the people and the right of the people. Yeah, and all we see Jamaica and run now, we is here to change Jamaica. And we cannot get ourselves entangled with these corrupted people. Because would have been just corrupted like them. Because remember, the Labour Party does not put anything on the table unless it's corruption. They don't serve no other menu. You can't go to go look, say, I get oxtail and all them things, they are corruption you get. When they must serve a corruption. Okay. All right, my brother.
All right, wifey, let me just give you to close us out.
Okay. Oh, let me just, where did it go? Okay, guys, thank you so much as usual for tuning in. I really appreciate the continued support. I just want to say have a wonderful and productive rest of the week. Remember to join Mr. Rattigan tomorrow night on his program.
All right.
And also we'll be back on Thursday with one show during the day, and then there is Titans in the evening, and also 2 shows on Friday. Then Mr. Rattigan is back on Saturday. Thank you so much, Stella, for the super chats. Really appreciate that, and big up yourself, Bola. Maximum respect. Thank you so much for being here.
All right.
All right. So again, good night, guys. Have a wonderful and blessed rest of the week.
All right, Raji.
We see you.
Melton Pot.
Thank you so much.
Sir Byron, send me the link. Send me the link now.
All right, may I send it to you right now?
All right, guys. Good night.
I don't want you come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want to right there that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.